Yo, are we back?
Or we just call it Yoshi's Are Back 2 Electric Boogaloo, you know.
I think we're back. Yo, I watched VGC for 5 seconds and my internet exploded.
It saw
Yeah,
two
we're
substitutes on
live.
the field at the same time and it said, fuck this.
Right? These people they're stalling out VGC. Hello. Okay, let me grab the new link, spam that in my Discord.
Did you stick a 2 in the thumbnail?
No.
Make sure you share your screen.
Yes, I have to do that again. Arg. There we go.
Fantastic.
We're so back.
We skipped this game to avoid any more issues.
We're back. And now I can actually plug in the Smogon chat, which I forgot to do.
And
The first
That was
time.
tactical. You knew the stream would die.
I did. I knew it would. It's not true. We skipped this game to avoid any more issues. Agreed. Okay, well. That was awesome. Love that. Really didn't like VGC enough to crash the stream. It's tough out here on the streets. So what did you guys miss? What did you see? Because this is game 2. We saw game 1. You got
Way
goobed.
more activation, I think.
Even the stream knew he didn't want a VGC. Yeah. Skip the game, blood. Well.
Yeah, until the end of turn 1 before stream dead.
Okay, so Flare Blitz, Citrus, cool. Actually, the other side. Okay,
Wait, this is game 2.
This is game 2. We went over game 1, right?
Yeah, game 1, the stream died at the point where the Ursula was...
I see. Okay, so game 1.
I think it was after the breaking swipe, I think stream died.
Oh, unfortunate. Alright, follow me. Sub.
1 sub, 2 sub. Will the internet survive?
Hopefully. If it dies again due to VGC, I'm actually just skipping it for real.
It's the singles only recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, stream died here. We made it!
Hallelujah. Alright, Tinglu is literally dead. Shout out to Rocky Helmet though. Annihilate comes in. We see Gouging Fire go for Burning Bulwark, expecting a Facade into that slot, but instead we just headlong into Annihilate with After You Mousehold. And yeah, he just cooked.
Yep, game's over.
Yeah, and then we go to game 2. Same lead I'm expecting. Yeah, Mousehold Ursaluna versus Tinglu Gouging Fire, so same lead, same lead. Repeat saying, I'll just not get outplayed to shit. Right, Flare Blitz. Gonna proc the Citrus Berry. But this does allow the free sub, so Mousehold does go down in exchange for a sub on Ursaluna, but some say that's worth it, because now Roaring Moon's gonna come in. This is gonna tailwind for sure. Never mind, I freaking lied.
Knocks off the helmet.
So it gets rid of the helmet, I guess. Flareblit's gonna break the sub, but now Ursaluna can take a kill on whichever one it wants. It's gonna be the Gouging Fire. As Ruination does half. As it usually does.
As it should.
Yeah. Now we're gonna see the tailwind, and we already know this. Oh, it doesn't one-shot Annihilate. It one-shot the previous time. Interesting.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate roll.
Oh, it doesn't kill is crazy. Okay. Protecting the Draining Kiss. This is a good turn for Repeat, bringing himself back into it. Now protect Roaring Moon on the Draining Kiss, but Fluttermane is gonna knock out Annihilate. Okay. Yeah, Terra has already been expended, so pretty free. Now the Roaring Moon does go down, but Fluttermane one-shots Tinglu.
That's specs.
That's specs. And Comfy, I don't know if you're aware, is kind of dicks. So 18%. Nice. And that's going to be the game. So specs Fluttermane comes out on top. And we can move on to non-VGC games. Awesome. Yeah, stream is back. Let's go. Alright, now we have Gorex versus Hacker. Now, Hacker is actually subbing in for Hedja, who actually got banned midweek. And if you know the reason why he got banned, it's a little bit silly goose, but that's neither here nor there. Right, but he was banned, sadly. No further comment is crazy. What better foreplay than starting with VGC? Yeah, of course. That's what that was. Alright. So now the series is what? 3-1, because Lodge Ice is on the Subway Surfers. So 3-1. Yoshi's still in the lead, but they do have to close out the series, right? So can Gorex do this? We do see Terra Fairy for Gorex's Raging Bolt, and Fairy on Hacker's Raging Bolt as well. So Fairy versus Fairy. Secondary Terras, I don't really see any of note, so probably just gonna see Fairy Bolts on both sides. And we set the chat to mod plus. Nice. So just no fun allowed, I guess.
Hacker.
Yeah, it's Hacker.
And made the
This was
replay
also played on
unlisted.
Blood
Like, get a
Force.
job, man. Do you just hate fun? Gliscor leads off in a Raging Bolt, but because it's Terra Fairy, it can just stay in and go for a Draco Meteor. That did a lot of damage. I wonder if that's like fast Gliscor or something. Because I would expect that to do way less. What are you gonna
Definitely
say?
not Spit F Gliscor.
I'd say the focus on it. I'd say it is fast, just so we could get the T-Spike up before a hypothetical taunt Lando. So
That makes sense, yeah, faster than Lando. Which now we're going to see Lando come in on the Gliscor. Catches a U-turn. Okay, but now Greninja's coming in. And we see leftovers Lando, so no Yachi or anything to be worried about. Hydra Pump dodges... Samurott dodges the Hydra Pump. Reveals Boots, doesn't take T-Spike, and Season's Edge misses. So, yeah, just keep haxing, etc. Y'all ever miss
also,
spikes?
we do need to keep a boots counter just in the corner.
Right, I guess so. That's
It's
one.
of those sorts of games.
Okay. Now rocks go up as Ceaseless this time does connect. Hazard for hazard. Now Ogerpon comes in on the Aqua Cutter. You're going to do 51%, which is a lot, but it is going to force this out into Landorus with leftovers. You'd expect this to be max Fizdef as an Ogerpon check, and it is exactly max Fizdef. Probably going to see rocks go up here as there they go. Gliscor takes it as an opportunity to heal up with Poison Heal a little bit, but now U-turns expecting the Lando to switch, but surely it's just going to go for a slow U-turn, right? Taunt was definitely not on the radar for me, but okay, sure. Taunts the Tinkaton, so now what? You can go Corv or just U-turn? Does this Lando not have U-turn? Like, I swear, you could have U-turned like multiple times here. Is you're fearing Ice Hammer there, but yeah, it gets the Samurott in on a Gliscor, which Gliscor goes for a U-turn into Raging Bolt, is Boots, takes the Aqua Cutter, does nothing. Now Lando's going to be forced in. Do we see a Draco? We see a Terra Fairy. Dragon Pulse, close enough. Should outspeed this Lando, I'm guessing. No, it doesn't. So the Raging Bolt is like basically no speed at all. U-turn into the Raging Bolt, and they're just gonna stare at each other. Tinkaton comes in on a presumed T-Bolt on a Volt Switch. So Tinkaton eats its Citrus, but there's no Pickpocket, it is Mold Breaker. Right, so now it's Boots Deoxys, so awesome.
And Boots Sablolol.
Yep, awesome. We love heavy duty boots. Knocks off the boots, this is awesome. Ceaseless does get up another spike, but Raging Bolt is Boots, so who cares? Lando comes in on, what? A T-Bolt. He's just better. But now Lando is dead to rocks, and now you go for a U-turn? Bro, get a job. Alright, Raging Bolt comes in on the Dragon Pulse. So, awesome stuff. Now, Tinkaton gonna be the sack here to T-Bolt. Yep. But now this Raging Bolt, like, what do you even kill it with? Ogerpon comes in. You're just saying this doesn't have...
He's a synth, probably.
Yeah, it does have synth.
On hypothetical clap.
Alright, Dio comes in, goes for Ice Beam, but Sableye is Spit F, so it doesn't take anything. But Sableye forced to recover means Raging Bolt can come in and go for Draco, but Light Screen up means that Sableye is not actually forced out at all. Can't just go for a recover here, but actually chooses to go for a knockoff instead.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Get rid of the boots.
Yeah, definitely should have recovered, because now you have to recover on Samurott in, which is definitely out damaging you. And Sableye will live the next one. Never mind, high roll.
Oh, well.
And so now we've lost our Sablolol, which was basically the only thing stopping both the Raging Bolt and the Deoxys. So yeah, and then our Raging Bolt gets iron-headed by faster Corv. Like, yeah, Gorex might just be cooked here. Ogerpon comes in, crucially not boots. But
I wonder why.
yeah, can go for an Ivy Cudgel, claim a kill basically. Raging Bolt gonna go down. Now what? Can Gren win this endgame? Potentially a Battle Bond could do it here. Goes for an Ice Beam. Oh, it is Protean, yeah. My bad. Now Raging Bolt comes in, but it's full HP, so it's not gonna... Yeah, it's just a free Draco. But now can you go for a Synthesis? Maybe do something? Maybe this is Trailblaze Ogerpon? Goes for the Synth on the Volt Switch, makes sense. But now Deoxys can come in and just Ice Beam. I guess, yeah, Superpower covers the Gren switch as well, so just go for that. And that should be the game, because full HP Raging Bolt is going to take one from Gren no matter what. And Gren's actually just slower than Deoxys, so going to go down. That's going to be the game. So,
GG.
Subway servers are bringing it back. It's now 3-2. Still in favor of YOSHIS, but definitely on the more winnable side. And now we have Lejon Flames versus Jelbell. Alright. I just say that because he's French. My bad.
We are culturally appropriate when there's a European in the call.
Of course, of course.
That's the...
Alright, speaking of Europeans, TJ, you wanna go over this a little bit?
I might as well. So this was a game that, I don't know if anyone saw the fantasy doc, but a lot of people were fancying Lejon in this game. I was not one of them. I saw the matchup completely opposite to everybody else, so I was like, okay, interesting. And, you know, you see, funnily enough, a Terra Zarude structure, which I've talked about a little bit this week. If you know, you know. And we see yet another case of these Iron Valiant Terra Hydra Apple cores here by Lejon. So we see the Terra Electric on the Zarude, and we see Terra Bug on the Hydra Apple, with the intention of just trying to take everything as neutral as it possibly can, I imagine. So, might as well just hop in and see. Because this is a massive game for YOSHIS, because, you know, win this and you've doubled your win count for the season.
Not only that, you clinch the tie. Yeah. So, why did you think this matchup was good? Because I still don't see it at all.
I think it was just one of those things of, I thought that the Petrarunt was very easily overwhelmed. And I also just liked the offensive mismatch matchup.
A Mismag is fair enough, right? But also, Mismag is your best Pokemon. Like, that can't be...
Dude, look at the Fairy resist, though, against Valiant. They're quite literally is 0.
Like literally, Valiant wins, Gren wins, like, Manabuzz hard walls, Zarude...
I was just expecting Spadef Zarude. That was the moral of the story. I thought he kind of had to go, like, Terra Fairy Max Spadef Zarude.
Sure, yeah. So. Well, it's Terra Electric, so LOL.
Yeah.
Alright, Petrarunt leads off into the Landorus. Great lead from Jelbell, but he goes for the rocks, gets Malignant Chain, no poison, so free rocks. Now Manabuzz's gonna come in, is not boots, but comes in on Earth Power, so it's all good. Focus Blast is 37, it's Citrus Manabuzz, shout out to JRicky. And is gonna get the defog off. Now goes for a knockoff, gets rid of the Focus Sash from Lando, okay? And now gets taunted. This taunt is going to be really impactful, because now those rocks are up to stay. Especially staying in on the Focus Blast to U-turn. Manabuzz is at like 3% after rocks. It's going to be really hard to get a defog off. And then we just taunt the Nasty Plot. He's just kind of different. And then Dragon Pulse, because we just hate Fickle Beam, I guess. The best move ever.
Well, there's pressure on
the Deoxys, yeah. You do kind of sometimes see a Spadef Deoxys trying to just pressure stall Fickle Beams from Hydrapple. I've definitely seen that in the past. Pressure Sneasler, pressure Deoxys, yeah.
True.
Petrarunt is a rude switch in here.
Yeah, on the Swords Dance. Colbur Foul Play, maybe? Would make sense here. And there it is.
Yep.
Big chip on the Zarude, but it's going to go down for it. But now the Zarude is going to be in Valiant range, and like we said, you don't have a Valiant switch in, so something will be dying, and it's just going to be the Zarude. Life Orb Valiant, big threat. Now Deoxys comes in, but because we've sacked our Manabuzz and our Petrarunt, now Deoxys is kind of unguardable. So we just sacked our Valiant. Awesome.
Yeah,
like, and
Small
then we
elephant
get
in the
taunted
room
again.
here of,
No boots
that's
on
not
Hydrapple.
regen Hydrapple.
It's not regen?
Yeah. That was the whole story of this game, that it was a misinput by Lejon that that's not regen Hydrapple.
I thought that was a meme because it wasn't boots.
No, it was boots.
So I was
It
just
was boots
watching
with
this
no
wrong.
regen.
I thought that
Yeah.
regen
It
was just
was
getting canceled
boots.
out by
It
boots.
was
I was
regen.
skipping through it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
It was sweet syrup.
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Super sweet syrup.
Love that. Love that for Lejon.
And yeah, just because the fact that Zarude broke through the Petrant.
I
Sneasler
pretted this
now is
guy in
just
my
really-
fantasy, and he brought non-regen Hydrapple. Is that on me? Is that my fault? Is it me, chat? Is it
We
me?
do say that as if I'm not 100% sure how much it actually would have mattered in this game.
No, he just
the way it
got
kinda
cooked.
I
But
mean, he
also,
could have
like,
beat the Sneasler if he had regen, I think.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, but I guess it depends what the Ampharos actually
I think,
is.
yeah. I don't know.
It's not my fault, K. Craig. You know. If this is
Like, it
like
probably just
Prime
beats the
Lejon,
last
he
three.
would win.
If
Okay,
it was
yeah.
regen.
I don't think we got Prime Lejon in this game. let's keep it a buck.
We did
So
not.
now the series is tied up now, right? Oh no, Jelbell's on Yoshi's.
Yes,
so
it
now
is.
this is 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2.
So they clinched
They
the
have the
tie.
at least.
Big if true. And now, to clinch the win, Tidle versus Ipro. Ipro is on the Surfers. Tidle is on Yoshi's. So if Tidle wins, they win the series. But Ipro must win to force a tie versus Yoshi's, which is like, yikes, what a
This was game
position.
8. No?
And
Yeah, maybe
there is a
I'm wrong.
storyline between these two. So
Because I thought every series went to...
Was game
Game
8 Paddock's Theo?
Yeah,
or
No, that one was game 7.
no, this was
The iPro was game 8.
is the order wrong? My bad.
Yeah. Game 7.
Okay, we'll look at this one first then.
I think. Fuck, I don't know.
Ipro must win.
No, you are
Yeah,
right,
I'm
you are
already
right. Yeah,
writing
fine,
my
we'll give it.
will.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought all 4 series went to game 8.
Okay. Nice, just spoil this game. That's cool.
I
So
wonder what happens here, guys.
Theo versus Paddock.
Nobody would have caught it if you didn't say anything. Jeez.
God.
You're the one that did.
Anyways, 2 really cool custom avatars, I must say. These are some
Yeah.
heavy drip.
Yeah.
But Theo is using his newly refurbished semi-stall team.
Theo team.
Yeah. Is it even semi-stall at this point? It might just be stall.
It's just Theo.
It's just Theo fat.
Like, don't even call it anything. Just Theo.
Yeah. So looking at this matchup earlier in the pick'em stream, I thought that there's very little that Paddox has that actually breaks Theo's team. I think the biggest threat in this matchup is low-key the Araquanid. If you look at like Liquidation plus Surf plus Leech Life, it kind of just kills everything and sits on a lot of guys as well. So I really expected that set to come. It should really do a lot of damage this game, as well as, you know, obviously Magma Taunt Heatran is god into stall. Everyone knows this to be true. Neutralizing Gas Wheezing to block regen would be pretty nice, so maybe Spadef Wheezing, you know, that could be awesome. And then, you know, a bunch of other stuff, like Lottie needs to be a boosting item to 2-hit KO Clef, as well as Slowking, but I mean, we can do that, right? Life Orb, Soul Dew, Choice Specs, any one of those things will get the job done. Which team traded Theo Switch Torn? I believe it was Judgment Day in exchange for a Garchomp. Which, like, fair enough, right? Or was it a Garchomp? It was a Coco, yeah. No, you're right. It was a Coco. But either way.
Which...
I don't know. I would have rather had Torn, but that's just me. Zeraora is, like, definitely a burger flipper into Stunfisk, so... Yeah, and Buzzwole as well. Let's get into the game. Torn leads off into the Crocodile. Theo just counter leading against Araquanid. Doesn't want to, you know, have to switch it on that turn 1. Goes for a knockoff. Trades Nox. So gets rid of the boots on Torn. Now going to U-turn on this Crook, which could just get Rocks up, and that could be pretty nice. Yeah, Rocks up. The Torn boots are gone. Buzzwole's in. Goes for a Leech type on the Weezing coming in. Now, potentially a free Will-O-Wisp. But also this Weezing isn't naturalizing or neutralizing gas. It's Levitate. Which is interesting.
Why?
We're using it as a Stunfisk check? Like, are you kidding me? Really?
I assume it's the Buzzwole switching, and that's why. But
Oh,
Okay.
maybe, yeah. Wow, I did a lot. 43.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying, like, imagine if this was just Surf to, like, 2-hit KO the Buzzwole, like,
Is that
very
banded?
easily. 42?
no, that's just a crit.
No, well, I don't know, because Buzzwole is hella defensive.
And our biggest
Could
threat
be.
is gone now because it took a future sight.
Yep.
So, awesome. Like, cool. Now, Sunfist comes in on the Zeraora, but T-Spikes are up, so it is going to get poisoned. No boots. Is leftovers. Now, Zeraora's in. Is going to taunt the rocks, presumably. Yeah, there's the rocks. So, maintains a severe hazard advantage, goes for a knock, gets rid of the leftovers in exchange for an earth power. I mean, you take that. Yeah, leftovers. You are able to heal that off, and now it's still taunted. You can go Latios. But Theo doubles to Taunt. Really nice play there. I was going to say, you could get a defog off there, but instead, U-turns to Clefable. Thinks better of it, and Life Orb Shadow Ball. Why did we click Shadow Ball? I guess predicting the Slowking?
Trying to catch the
Yeah.
Slowking. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then
God.
Zera in on T-Wave. Oh, no. Now,
Zero
Scissor's going to come in?
this.
Okay,
Because
but
Buzz and Stunfisk are low.
this could very well be Fire Punch last. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't Zeraora kind of god here?
We switch though, just out of respect. I guess we don't have Fire Punch, right? Goes for a U-turn on Heatran, gets Slowking in for free. Now Toxic in exchange for what? A Surf? Yeah, Surf doing very much enough to 2-hit KO. So now this Heatran, which should have been God mode into this, is now at 37. Nice. Now a nice double to Torn, and now goes for an Air Slash, gets a flinch. And then we switch out on a Defog, and now all those hazards are gone. Stunfisk comes in on the Zeraora, Plasma Fist. Now, what is this fourth move on Zeraora? I really don't know. Regardless, gonna switch out into Latios on the Earth Power, gets that play correct. Stunfisk very low. Torn comes in on the Shadow Ball, so Theo just outplaying these Latios hits. Like,
Does Draco just OHKO that shit?
low key, I don't think so, but it would
I
do
doubt
like
it.
90, you know, and that's better than doing 35 with Shadow Ball. Alright, Plasma Fist goes 53 to the Scizor on a crit. So, good chip. Now, Clefable comes in, forces this out, goes for 8 Soft Boil. As Weezing comes in, gonna double to Crook on what? On Torn?
Catch Stunfisk, gets it wrong.
Yeah. Well, Air Slash comes out on the Heatran, but now Knockoff gets rid of the leftovers. Gets Flame Body to block the Toxic. Love to see that. Goes for U-turn, presumably into Slowking. And there it is. Modest Life Orb Draco, smoking max HP Torn. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel
think
like
it
this
might
is
kill
more
it.
than max HP.
It's close.
But anyways, Draco's into the Clef. So Theo really outplays this Latios on basically every single turn that it's been in. And yeah. Yeah, if Paddock's click the right buttons, that's low-key like 2 kills out of that Latios. But instead it is 0. Sad.
Yeah.
Now Slowking in on the Zeraora. Buzzwole's gonna get sacked off to Plasma Fist, and now what? Now Stunfisk comes in, but Zera's not in range of Earth Power. So you could have just gone for a taunt or anything, but instead he switches, allows for Theo to get the rest off, and now this Zera, which low-key won in about 5 seconds, now has a full HP Stunfisk on the other side. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. I get it, man. Earth Power is probably a roll, but like, that is ass. Like, it's unbelievably garbage for you. That rest going off. And now this Torn is going to U-turn. This Crook is very low. Actually, knockoffs again to get rid of the Scizor, but now I think U-turn is going to kill. So you can deny rocks forever as Theo now. Stunfisk comes in, going to burn some sleep turns. No, it actually doubles to Torn. I'm not sure why, but it worked out.
Probably to catch the Crook coming back in. trying to get rocks up again.
But you don't need to catch the croak. You could just hard torn that turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Getting fancy on him, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's working out. He just kills the Heatran. Doubles to Zeraora on the Torn. Get some leftovers, which is crucial, but there's a full HP Fisk now.
Yeah. What is did the last move ever get revealed?
The what? The last move? I don't think so. Like, what could it possibly be? Taunt, Knock, Plasma. It's not Fire Punch. It could be like a move for Buzzwole, like Aerial Ace maybe, Acrobatics, something like that. I doubt it though.
I have no idea.
I really do not know. It's not Bulk Up. We would have been bulking up a long time ago, I think. It's Toxic. So it's actually Taunt Toxic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now taunts the Fisk, expecting a rest at 94%, which is not going to happen. Yeah. And now Theo can actually switch out the Stun Fisk because there's no way that Zero's coming in. You preserve the HP. Yeah, makes sense. Now you get your Soft Boiled off, and Zero cannot beat this Clefable, so... Force out
I feel like Paradox definitely had a good chance to win.
He did,
He
yeah.
just got a lot of turns wrong.
a lot of turns,
Main
man.
was the taunt, and the heal bell here just kind of ends the game by itself.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, he just healed 3 statuses. Now Slowking can come in for free, gets poisoned, but like, who cares? Like, every time Slowking's in, progress is forced. Yeah, Surf does 49 to Zera. It looks to be like an offensive Slowking, to be honest, with how much I was doing to Heatran and now to Zera.
Yeah.
Looks like his main progress maker. Because like max special attack Future Sight is really hard to position around for Paradox. And like those Surfs really do hurt.
Dude, imagine this last move was like just like close combat or something though. Like when that Stun Fisk was hella low, like this Zera Aura could have just won.
They could have, yeah. I
Like,
just chose not to, but that's cool. I get it. Just out of respect, allowed the Stun Fist to heal.
God.
Yeah.
Or if that Wheezing was taunt, like damn.
Damn, yeah. And that's
It's Levitate for the Stun Fist. Why not be taunt, bro?
True. So, Theo wins, and now the series is 4-3 in favor of Yoshi's. So this game...
And we're back.
For it all. For all of the marbles. Right, this is Tidle versus Ipro, and Loki. Let's just get into it. Basically, Victini, big threat. However, Pursuit Trap on the other side. Awesome. Victini, only Dazzling Gleam resist, basically, because Kartana does not count. Coco, big threat with Pursuit. That's basically the matchup analysis
nice
as I saw it.
Against Keldeo, by the way.
The Ipro team looks cool looking at it, but then you realize it only has one real resist to a ton of typings. Grass, Fairy, Dragon, Water. Like Dragonite, Serp, Coco, Kelt could all just win. That is true. Hey, that's me. Yep. Yes, it is Tidle. Who's ready to take a dump? Yep. I'm ready. Alright. Dragonite leads off into the Manectric, so Lead Dragonite could see like a weakness policy on an HP Ice, maybe? Ipro does not want to risk that, goes for a Volt Switch, breaks the multi-scale, as we're going to see double Intimidate on it, into an Outrage, doing 45 still through double Intimidate. That's banded for sure. Gets Dragon Tailed out, which is actually low-key a blessing in disguise. Unfortunate to drag the Muck. Anything else would have been better, but it's all good, because Coco can pivot in on a knockoff. It's going to be Z here. Yeah, Z. Likely Farium. But Dazzling Gleam just going to knock that out. Now Victini forced to come in. Actually, we see Electric Z? Oh no. Guardian of Alola. So Z Nature's Madness. A very rare sight to see. Usually you see that in like Steelix matchups, but this is definitely not a Steelix matchup. I guess...
It's probably like Dazzle and Nature's Madness, probably. So like you could do for either.
Well, it has to be Nature's Madness if you're Guardian of Alola.
Oh, I already revealed Dazzle. Yeah. Double Fairy.
So... I'm guessing this is just calling out an AV Garchomp, which would take 2 Dazzling Gleams. Because Guardian Alola into Dazzling Gleam would knock it out, as if it's like the initial pivot. But here, Victini, we're going to take the chip. And Blue Flare, classic Yoshi's this series. Dodges the Blue Flare. Nice, dude. And now you can just go for a Volt Switch. If Garchomp comes in, that's fine. Like, you already got more than your money's worth out of this. Rocky Helmet Mew avoids the poison. Earthquake crit, though, and then with the Rough Skin, is going to put it in range of the next one, so unfortunate luck for the Yoshis. Really, is this justice? Yeah, and it is AV Chomp, judging from Surf doing 23%, so looks like Ipro has found the second water resist, but unfortunately not quite enough. Scarf Keldeo going to get a big hit on this Manectric before it goes down 68%. Now Dragonite comes in, this is going to be E-Speed range. We see Uxie come in. I would have expected Kartana in on the extreme speed. I feel like this Uxie HP is a little bit too valuable. It's the only thing left that really takes hits from the Coco. But instead we're going to just go down to E-Speed like 4 times. Now finally Kartana comes in.
Now we go cart.
So we're still taking chip on our cart.
He also needs the card health because this is his grass resist for the end game. So
you need health on everything and you can't have it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Now Serp comes in, threatening HP Fire, but Victini, a nice pivot in, is going to force a KO with Blue Flare, it looks like. Coco comes in, doesn't quite go down, so it does live. Can go for a Volt Switch here. So, well, Coco is dead to rocks, but this allows the positioning for Serp to come in, go for Leaf Storm, and now your +2 Leaf Storm. Can Kartana eat this? That's the question. The answer? 4 times resist, by the way. Kartana is so awesome. Such a Pokemon. And Scarf Leaf Storm is going to clean up this endgame. So GG.
After
unless
of a beautiful monologue, then that happens.
Unless Muckalola comes in, surely it'll live.
Any critters?
Yeah, I don't think a crit matters.
Super critters, maybe.
What if it was V-Create too? Yep.
Yep, true. Count your lucky stars. Yep. Lucking and waiting till the end to specifically talk shit is a negative or a move. Read the chat. Take it in a dump on
like
Ipro.
Deltarune references before the miss.
Oh my god. Okay, to be fair, the GGs were already said on like this turn.
Yeah.
So like you can yap, I don't mind that. But yeah. Awesome. So Yoshis win their first series of the tournament. And they're not in last place on the standings anymore. Yippee! Yoshis are so back. And now, I believe the plan is to go over our series, me and TJ.
And me.
And Zush is here, yeah. So we're going to start with Zush's game.
Yeah,
that wasn't game 1.
Was it
this
not?
was not game 1. No.
It was posted in this order.
My replay against AM was posted hours later than it should have been. Yeah,
that's not my fault. It's not my fault, dude. Darn.
The epic game 1.
Alright, so game 1. TJ, the boat, versus AM22. Alright. Take it away, TJ.
2 hours later than intended, as you do.
Yep. Can my Gepika to skip the Zuch game? Can it be? I don't know.
I guess I can briefly talk about this. So,
just leak your entire paste, please.
I will not. I mean, I could, but I'll talk about it.
We're not doing a rematch in the playoffs, bro.
I know. Spoilers. But no, yeah, like I looked at the stuff initially and I thought that there was a lot of positives in it, and then just kind of it was one of those that as the week kept going, the more like opium I started to huff. So I basically just remade the entire paste like the day of.
Love to see that.
Yeah, just because there was a ton of massive threats here, like the Medicham kind of forced the Gramble to come on my end. Life of Greninja was a giant threat. T-Spikes were quite plausible. Nidoking got killed really easily. Poliwrath shut down way more stuff than a Poliwrath should. Superior was just winning through typical Aura Superior Glare bullshit, which it was nice to see that thing benched. So, yeah, I kind of ended up coming together with this. I won't say anything until we kind of get into the game itself. But
No spoilers.
yeah, definitely glad to not see a superior. We'll put it that way, because that thing was pissing me off. Also, fun fact, Medicham I was very scared of here, and that was solely because I think in 90% of mocks I did, Medicham just crit through Gramble. And it was like, well, what's the point of bringing this thing?
Nice, yeah.
It's gonna get crit every single time.
That'll do it. Alright, let's get into the game. Alright, JRicky lead into Nidoking. It's on a balloon, so Nidoking is going to be forced out. Free rocks, I'm assuming? Yeah, free rocks, but so I'm going to trade those back immediately. There we go. Hydreigon pivot in. Is going to force in Poliwrath on a Dark Pulse, but U-turn. Nice play. Shout out Draft League.
Exactly. And Leftovers is big here,
yeah.
only because it means that I know this thing is an Assault Vest, and Assault Vest was actually the most annoying set. So, it was good for me.
Now Zap comes in on a knockoff, gets rid of the boots. Just kidding, it's Gen 6. So knockoff gets rid of Chesto Berry, which is interesting. What did you think when you saw this Chesto Berry?
It made me quite happy because I thought that, well, happy and annoyed at the same time. Because yes, it revealed what last move was, and I thought last move had to be Roar. So it made me feel a little bit better about my Zygarde chances, but it also meant that if I got into an endgame, it also meant I had to be really careful about my positioning around Zapdos. Because a lot of my responses will kind of get into it later, but Rest could kind of shut down quite a few of them. So, good info. And what's funny is the fact that it wasn't Leftovers means that another Torn set that I had, which was actually Bulk Up Normal Gem Boosted Return, would have actually worked. Because it wasn't lefty, so it would have guaranteed been in range of +1 normal gem return, and it would have just went on to go ham. But oh well.
Static propped immediately, would have been parried, etc.
Exactly. Why it got scrapped.
Yeah. And we just head smashed a Poliwrath. Nice, dude. Alright, expected the Zapdos to stay in, but like bringing in Hydreigon on the Zapdos like that, you're basically screaming, I have a tech for this, you should switch. So AM just makes a safe play into Poliwrath, clicks Scald.
I didn't have many more options to be fair.
I know, yeah, but like it is a little telegraphed. Now Zapdos in on the Hurricane. Crit does 23, which reveals basically max Spadef. Now taunts the Roost, which is nice, but now Discharge on the Hydreigon. Do we see a para? No para. And now Poliwrath can just come in here. But now, crucially, this Zapdos is at 28% after rocks, which is quite low. Definitely low. Which series is this? This is Armory versus Make-A-Wish. Because we have TJ in the call. We're going over his game first. Alright, Draco, and now we have to switch on another Scald. Is the water going to be hot today? Torn has already burned its Lumberry, but no such luck. This guy's really hacking us. What can I say? Dodges Hurricane on a Spadef Bronzong. I don't know if that's exactly justice, like that was doing 11. Gets the Toxic off through a Taunt Torn, and now goes for a Protect on the Taunt. So, racking up some Toxic Chip. Now, if Torn stays in, it's basically going to die to Poison. And actually, a really nice double Toxic. Catching the Infernape, and now Protect. This Infernape is basically going to be limited to 1 kill now. With Poliwrath coming in on the Flare Blitz. Does a lot, because this is like, what, Choice Band? Oh,
I had CC clicked and then changed my mind on it, because I had basically only seen Heatproof Bronzong in mocks the entire week. So that was kind of the apprehension of going off of the close combat click there. It maybe would have gotten me 1 extra kill in the endgame. Hard to know.
Were we Heatproof or were we Levitate? I feel like we were Levitate. Were we?
No, we were Heatproof.
Okay, yeah. We were Levitate for a while earlier in the week to beat Zygarde. But, like, it can just crunch, you know?
Exactly.
Now, Medi comes in, goes for the Fake Out, reveals Helmet Grand Bull to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Now, we said double back into the Torn. Really nice play from TJ the Boat. But an even nicer play, AM22 has that Life Orb Sucker Punch on him. So, Torn goes down. Now, Zygarde comes in, and AM doesn't really have a switch in to Earthquake or anything, really. Like, DD is game ending, so forced to stay in and sack the Nidoking at this point. A critical hit, which definitely mattered because we are max defense with +1 Key Berry with Reflect Up, Shuka Berry, all that nonsense. I'm just kidding, bro. Gren comes in, Ice Beam, reveals Yachi Berry Zygarde, and then Earthquake knocks out the Gren, which is a great trade for TJ. But now, Medicham comes in.
This is where I start to fuck things up quite badly.
Because this is looking quite good for you.
Because my concern here on this particular turn is Gramble is the obvious switch in. And if he doubles into Zapdos, I'm in fucking trouble. Is the moral of the story here.
Yes.
So therefore, I decide, instead of making the safe play and just getting my helmet chip, I get off the E-speed damage.
Which, to be fair, very impactful damage.
That's still fine, yeah. That's good.
And
No.
then I went too quickly here. Because in my head I was like, oh, I just go Hydreigon, I click Dark Pulse, and this endgame's completely fine.
Yep.
Dark Pulse does look like it sweeps, yeah.
The issue is hypothetical Bullet Punch, which in my head I'd already seen Fake Out in this game, and I was like, right, this should be Fake Out, HJK, Poison Jab, and Ice Punch. Brand. No BP. And so I went Hydreigon immediately. And then I was like, what if it is BP?
Do you just
If it's
lose?
BP, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I insta-lose.
But
Yeah.
you're not in BP range, right?
I think he
am
is.
100% not in BP range.
Are you sure?
This is Medicham, bro.
I'm pretty sure. I was also minus defense on this, remember? Because I was head smash. So,
Oh,
That
if you're
would do
minus
it,
defense,
yeah.
I think so. If you weren't minus defense, then
yeah.
I don't think you were.
Thank you, TSP. Thank you.
So-
Appreciate that.
Bullet
So yeah, so I was
punch.
like, okay, if he's BP, he reveals it here.
Yep.
And I basically made this into a 50-50 when it didn't need to be a 50-50. If I'd gone Gramble first, yes, it becomes a very messy endgame, but it's an endgame that is slightly in my favor because of the fact I have Hydreigon.
Yo, thoughts on this
And-
Calc Burger just posted in the chat? Well,
What's the
he was
Calc?
saying Adamant is a roll, at least.
Yeah.
But it's still in your
It-
favor to live.
It had to be, I'm pretty sure it was revealed that I was able to count Adamant off of the Fake Out damage on the Gramble, I think. I need to double check that, but...
I think we were
Were you actually?
for the Hydreigon.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Did I miscalculate that?
Let me double
Aw,
check.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Let me double check just so you don't go crazy.
But anyways, so in your mind, BP is basically a GG, I
He's game
lose.
losing, yeah.
But if he has it, he's clicking it here, which means Granbull can just get some helmet chip on this, 2-hit KO with helmet, and you just click Play Rough, right? Play Rough keeps the Zapdos out. If Bronzong comes in, you're fine with that. You can just go Jirachi or something. Basically, next time Hydreigon comes in, it wins the game.
Yeah.
So we go Granbull, expecting the Bullet Punch. But AM22 transcendentally, is that the word? There's a lot of
It's
syllables, I'm
sacking
sorry.
Zapdos.
I went for a big word. I went for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Doubles to the Zapdos, expecting the Granbull. Oh my god. Chat, it was Charlie. Yeah.
Fuck's sake. That makes it...
So Zapdos in.
What was the fuck I was reading on Gravel? I don't know. Maybe I forgot Intimidate. That's definitely something I could have done.
Gets the roost off. Yeah, that was probably it, huh?
And this is where, because the fact I'm Toxic Jirachi, I knew the game was kind of over, unless I got lucky. Because of
So-
the fact we've seen the chest of berries, so I know this thing's rest.
Yes. So here's
That
the
full
rest.
power, I clicked Psychic that turn, which only would have mattered if I had managed to get a Spadaf drop.
But now Dark Pulse is clicked. 31. What are these rolls? 28? This Zapdos is going to live 3 of them. Lives on 2%. Goes for the Hidden Power Ice, and now
Never lucky.
Zapdos just wins. You can go for a rest here if you want to, or roost, either way, doesn't really matter. Psychic only does 22, and
Shouldn't he have roosted there? It's kind of... He can get Spadef drop killed.
you would need 2 drops in 2 turns for rest to not work out, I think.
No, because he rests. If he gets this Spadef drop on the first one, he still has to eat 2 more, but I think he dies. I think. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
I
to be
just
fair,
work
if
here.
it's Jolly Metacham, it doesn't actually matter at this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jolly.
I can't believe I did that. Whatever.
Poor guy.
Well, he would still have to land high jump kick technically, but yeah. Oh,
Try for
Here's the poison jab.
and pray, but does not work.
And that's gonna be the game. Shout out to AM22, the GOAT.
Armoy.
The GOAT.
One that got away. But
Yep. Look, we take
It
donations out here. We take donations. It's cool. And now we have Zush versus Sablo. Alright. Clear your throat, get ready.
Okay. So, I guess we can link, right? Because you're not playing them. Yeah. So, yeah, this is Specs Flying Torn Masterclass. The resist is Metagross, which is also like the Latios resist. So,
yeah,
Just
This
overwhelm
was-
that guy.
very commonly seen in mocks because we were like,
mhm.
this language is kind of stuck on this draft, huh?
The biggest threat though for sure is the moth, the Terra Fairy moth. Terra Gliscor wasn't really a threat because I had Specs plus Soldu to kind of like pressure it so it can't double setup. But Fairy moth is actually a big problem because my Fairy resist are Scarm and Pesh, right? So definitely most troubling for me. So we can get this started. Let's see what's popping.
Right. Lead Quaquaval.
The Quaquaval got his U-turn, can't knock into a policy, anything crazy. Change rocks, and this thing, yeah, okay. Meteor Beam is really good because now my Moon Check is just gone. So, but we'll make it work. Didn't think this thing would be Grass Knot because stab plus like Meteor Beam I thought it was, but it is Grass Knot, you're going to see. So it's kind of walled by Lottie, but I didn't expect that. So I'm going to go
We
Lottie
went
on
too
this.
far.
Yeah. And take some chip and then probably just kill it.
Yeah. And crucially now the
Just
flying
kidding.
resist is basically dead. It's at
Yeah, this was a
35.
mistake by me, by the way. I should have Draco'd. I don't know what the hell I was
Yeah.
thinking. But
This
they
guy
got
might
that
be
play
bad.
Correct. Yeah.
Sack
Down goes my
Scarm.
answer. Yep.
But
And reveals Life
Loki,
Orb.
Loki, he's already at
So-
half. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just hit the safe Terra Blast. I don't have to risk
Mm-hmm.
a miss. I was like triple flying move, I think, on this. Or double. I was triple at one point.
Yeah, you could be.
So this is a very interesting set. Booster with light screen is really good. Because if it's Morning Sun too, which I think it is actually, yeah. It's actually a pretty good like Torn check, so really, really good bring by them. And again, it's Fairy, so my Lu does not beat it 1v1. But thankfully, Sablo misplays pretty big here. So
This is the
yeah, so he could have just dazzled here to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna reveal Fiery Dance one time to go for a boost, which is fine. And then
Gets it.
he's gonna get greedy here. And
Lives
go
on
for
one, by the way.
Yeah, go for another one, and then
Okay, but like,
I actually live, right?
take a peep at this game state, right? +1 Fairy Moth. What's our
Yeah,
check? We have
fast and
to like
everything.
we have to give up Petra HP, right?
Yep.
Just kidding. Tinglu is the goat. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
he just needed to gleam there, but you know,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, I think he realistically just won actually, if he did that. So,
Yeah.
but now that Moth
Well,
is
I guess-
gone,
Yeah, this endgame is just
this is obviously Koba Berry, and I could have Hurricane to just kill through it, but this thing didn't really pose a threat to me. I'd rather just get my damage off and then look for a Quaquaval win
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
there's no resist after this guy is chipped. So, but the game's still pretty
Our
close.
resist,
So
ladies and gentlemen, is called Terra Shell.
yeah, it's still a pretty close game. Like he's got Trick Room and Boots, so this is a very funny turn. I just Malig, and I do get the poison on him because I poison it through my ability.
Yep.
But I do have Hex, so he can't really do all this crap versus me.
Yeah, agility means that, you know, this Petra is going to take what from Earthquake? 43? Like, yeah.
Box policy, because I'm the goat. Now I trolled after this right here. Okay, I am Scarf Quaquaval, so I could have just Aqua Stepped here, right? got a boost, and then just kept on stepping to victory versus Tropicos. I was very healthy. There's nothing he could do. He can't like take a turn to spin or rock polish because I would have too many boosts, and I would just kill him. So whatever. I'm gonna Lesser Purge to break this, and then I troll yet again next turn.
No, don't troll.
As they rock polish, I should have just Draco'd here to kill if I lived. Because even if I missed, it's the same result. Like Quackball has to live one and then just kill him anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I didn't Draco there. And then I also thought about having Jet, which I did not. But Quackball is the GOAT, big stepper.
Lives one at the end of the day. Yep.
Yeah, did not play that to my best.
I think it was the back-to-back of what happened in my game as well as this scenario, because I feel like Sablo had this game if the Tinglu died.
Yeah, he did.
Which, like, definitely didn't need to greet that second one, but, you know, these things... He probably just counted, had the rolls, so he had a particular Tinglu in mind, and it just was not the same Tinglu. So it lived on one, and all of a sudden WinCon... Well, I say WinCon, but something that was in a really nice position, especially since that was a more offensive Petra run, yeah? Just going off the weakness policy.
No, I don't think so.
No, it was max HP, max speed, pretty much.
Kind of fatty. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For the speed for the drop.
Yeah, but +1 fire dance is still taking like 75 for it.
There's a lot,
Yeah.
Exactly, Glop. This guy gets it. Alright. And now we have JRicky versus Panda. Alright, so Sun matchup. Panda, a known Sun user. However, hasn't pulled it out in any team tours as of yet. But now he's finally getting that chance after some mid-season transactions. They come out with this this team. There's a Cresselia on my team. Thank you, Darkrai.
A Darkrai and a Lando T in exchange for a Roaring Moon, so the Panda could have Sun.
Yep. I mean,
you're welcome.
It looks the part, right?
Oh yeah, it does, 100%. Like Sun, this type of Sun does not function without Roaring Moon, so we kind of knew.
Yeah, you need it.
It needed to be done.
Not since DLWC 1. I guess he did do it in World Cup, yeah, but that was like many years ago at this point. Like plural years ago. Alright, but anyways. JRicky using this this new team after mids with Valdinite with a Terra Cerulege on here. Should be pretty interesting. The Cerulege is going to be Terra Fairy, just as like a Walking Wake kind of check. Meanwhile, the Walking Wake itself is going to be Terra Poison. So one step ahead, sadly. We thought about Terra Steel in this, but...
Don't forget the Terra Fairy Crest.
I will forget the Terra Fairy Crest. This is Panda. He's tearing his wake. Get real. Alright, Clear Amulet Moon counter leads into the Intimidate Crook. Knockoff is going to get rid of the Rocky Helmet on Lilligant Hisui. Now doubles out into the Roaring Moon on the Ogerpon, but this is fine. Ogerpon can just go for what? A U-turn? A Spiky Shield.
Spiky Shield.
JRicky. Anyways, Crook comes in on the sack to Gouging Fire, and we have no progress, basically. Like, we knocked off the Lilligant, but we lost a Pokemon for it. Not great.
And we know it's Amulet. Hello.
Yep. Alright, now, Cerulege can go for a Bulk Up, but now Lilligant comes in. We have Protect to scout what this wants to go for, but it's actually Encore. So, just goes for it again, as we're forced to Protect. Now we go Ogerpon on the Sleep Powder, so... all pretty reasonable. Now what? It's just a knockoff. Yeah, knockoff as the Lilligant is forced out. It can't really touch us. It gets rid of the Heat Rock, which is pretty important. And now what? Can just go for a U-turn? No, it goes for a Spike. Of course it spikes. So the last move is... yeah. Oh, the last move is Encore, which we go for expecting to be slower than the Gouging Fire because we're max defense Ogerpon. But the Gouging Fire is slower. Goes for a Scale Shot. Like, this was a silly turn, bro. What happened to my JRicky? And now that Ogerpon goes down.
Like, I get his reasoning. Like, he
it's
think the Gouge would have like 0 speed pretty much, but yeah.
But now Terra Fairy Dragon Claw is going to check this Gouging Fire pretty comfortably. Protect for some lefties. W
lefties.
Now he's switched to Dragonite on the Earthquake, preserves some HP because this is an E-speed range. Too tough. Yeah. Now Roaring Moon comes in. Pivots to Valiant on the knockoff. Could have seen like
Got
an
helmet.
E-speed there, low-key.
Oh,
But
Valiant.
fearing the scale shot, I guess. Now Moonblast into Crest. We taunt this to prevent any like Lunar Dance or anything. Sunny Day. Yeah, Manual Sun. Now Moonblast is going to 2-hit KR Valiant and gets a special attack drop, but we have Destiny Bond, basically designed to trade with Crest, opens up our Dragonite, and, you know, all that stuff. So now Sablolol comes in on the Lilligant, but Encore is not really threatened, except we click Protect
Sleep
on...
Powder's the threat.
Yeah, Sleep Powder's the threat. But now we can just go Tentacruel on the Sleep Powder, get that Sleep Sack out of the way, and now back to Sablolol on the Defog. Okay, fair enough. Now, can we Swords Dance here? No, because the last move is Bitter Blade. We don't have Shadow Sneak to block the Encore. Just Bitter Blade here. But now, this Torkoal comes in, and Torkoal could be running Clear Smog, so we can't exactly bulk up on this thing necessarily. Just goes for a Bitter Blade, trying to chip this thing down. We are Flash Fire, of course, but Sludge Bomb comes out, just 25. Immediate poison. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Now goes for the bulk up. But Sludge Bomb just doing a reasonable enough amount of damage. Now, Bitter Blade's going to get a little bit of recovery, but not enough, it seems.
Yeah, we got hexed.
Yep. Something like that. It is going to go down to the poison eventually. But now, Dragonite looks like it might be able to do something. Because this is Choice Banded, and we actually go for the Scale Shot. So now, after that, we're going to outspeed everything. And with Choice Band, kind of kills everything, no? Torkoal has to come in to set up the sun.
If you get lucky, like, it definitely... I thought the game was over at this point, but...
Yeah, the sun's up now, and Walking Wake actually gets a Protosynthesis special attack boost. And if it's Specs, I believe it can OHKO through Multiscale. So,
yes.
There's a Sleeping Tentacruel with no turns burnt. I think at this point you just kind of have to hope that you live a Draco Meteor with the Multiscale and just go for a Scale Shot. Like, you're not going to get much of a better opportunity than this. We see Terra Poison.
Kill.
Yeah. 5 hits will kill, but we get 2. I mean, it's Choice Banded, it's not loaded dice or anything. And Draco does knock it out. And that's going to be the game because 0 turns slept. He's just going to go into his Roaring Moon, and that's going to be the game. As Knockoff is going to put this well and truly in range of Wake, even if we wake up and like have Dazzling Gleam or something. Which we don't. That's going to be the game. So it's going to somewhat even up the series. We're still up 2-1 against Make-A-Wish, but well played from Panda. And,
yeah.
And now we have VGC. Alright.
God.
This one's kind of cool, though.
Is it kind of cool? Alright.
The first game was
cool.
a masterclass.
Yup.
Screwed the last 2 games.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Let's look at it. So Torn, Cleaver Lead into Raging Bolt and Dondozo. So it could see like a Volt Switch Dondozo into Tatsugiri potentially. But we're going to see a knockoff onto the Dozo. Gets rid of the Psychic Seed. X Scizor is going to heavily chip the Raging Bolt. As we do see a Volt Switch into the Torn slot. Probably into the Tatsugiri, right? Yep, there's the Tatsugiri.
Yep.
Gets the Commander boost. And knocks out the Torn, getting an attack boost. So that was pretty nicely sequenced from Sven. Cannot even lie. But now Terragrass and DD. Everybody lives the Earthquake. X Scizor comes out, does a decent amount of chip. But now we're going to see a Psych Up. Booyah.
Booyah, we're not done yet.
And skill swaps.
And skill swap.
To get rid of the Unaware from Dondozo. And now Indeedee is just the GOAT, right? Set up rocks, because you gotta. And now Alluring Voice gonna knock this out. X Scizor one-shots the Tatsugiri. Yeah. And now, yeah, Sven is cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Really nice stuff. Indeedee dancing gif. So true.
Yeah. No, this was a set that was kind of mentioned a lot in mocks, and it was just kind of to a point of you could hyper prep for it. I think there was a point where the Donzozo was actually ability shield to prevent the skill swap. Not like it would have mattered in this game because the fact
had Nocturne, yeah,
came in.
Yeah, we definitely considered that as well. Yeah.
So
game 2.
But I think the key thing here is the adjustments that are made. So we'll see that.
This time leading off with the Tauros. which does have a sprite now. Love to see that. He looking kind of sick though. Look at him. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hydrapple and DD lead. We're going to see Terra Fairy immediately with a follow me. So implying Terra Blast is coming? Because I don't know why else you would Terra. No, you nasty plot. So what was the point of Terraing there? I feel like follow me. You don't have to Terra that turn. You can Terra the next turn. Introduce a 50-50. But instead, now the Raging Bolt knows that it can just T-Bolt this. Or Volt Switch, same thing. And it's going to do so much damage. We can't even pretend. And now, Giga Drain into the Annihilate slot is going to bring back a lot of that HP. But now, you know, Iron Crown's going to come in. Expanding Force is basically going to one-shot everything. Sash Tauros, which is going to be really impactful. Bring this Iron Crown down to 1 HP with Endeavor. Interesting. But now, it's looking kind of tricky for Sven, no? Because Psychic Terrain's up, you have the Speed Booster on Crown, and Expanding Force is coming. It's going to chip everything. Hydrapple's at +2. It looks pretty dangerous for him. And he's still down 1 game in the set. Hydrapple protects. Why do we protect? Like, do we die to Population Bomb?
Probably.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But now, like, the problem with that is you're still in the same pickle, right? I guess...
Yeah. That's why it wasn't as bad in endgame position, is because the fact that we knew that Crown couldn't kill the mouse, and so if mouse was able to pick off Hydrapple, it's still...
But can't you Tailwind here, and then, yeah, what happens? Oh, why? See, like, why did he not kill
AV
Mouse?
We didn't attack Mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, nah,
like,
dude.
Attack.
Bolt, I think, still wins in that position.
No.
Also,
Versus 2 full
Protect.
HP?
No way, dude.
Yeah, he must have just hard called Protect on Mouse, but you just lose. Well, actually, Torn doesn't do anything to Bolt, so maybe Bolt does still win. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's close.
No. Because you would, on this turn, you Giga the Mouse Hold, you still get enough you still get enough recovery to live a T-Bolt, and then what you do is Torn's alive, Hydrapple's at 1 HP, but Raging Bolt's at 75.
No, yeah, so it would be basically Hydrapple and Torn at full here, and then Raging Bolt
at 75.
hits something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably does die to 2 knockoffs, so yeah, it was a hard call on Protect Mouse Hold there.
Like, you just knock into either Giga or Fickle Beam. Like, Fickle Beam's a little stronger, which you would go for. I think you would just win.
Yeah,
but you were saying it's AV, right?
On the Bolt, yeah.
The Bolt.
Oh, on Bolt. I thought you were saying on Mouse Hold.
No, not on Mouse.
I was like, what?
Pretty sure Mouse. I also just assuming with wide lens. I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay, game 3, though.
Clover.
Indeed, Hydrapple again into Raging Bolt Mouse Hold. Alright. Follow me's on the Population Bomb that's going to kill.
Yep.
Shout
no
out.
wonder Eurodunk loves this thing.
It's literally good. I'm not gonna lie. It's literally a good Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, this time Hydrapple does not Terra.
Hard call on the Terra.
Gets the nasty plot. And now Torn comes in. This is pretty good because we can Tailwind and just start killing things. Yeah, Mouse Hold goes down immediately. Annihilate goes for Final Gambit, and it actually one-shots Hydrapple. Wow. That's a big turn. Now Iron Crown gets in with Tailwind and Psychic Terrain up. But the Tauros' Terra Dark calls that with a Tachyon into Bleak Wind. Oh, but we miss.
Yup, just
no.
This was the turn that Sven royally fecked up. Because the play here should have always been Protect Tauros into Snarl. Because then you can Terra Dark afterwards and you never die.
Yeah, I get it.
So he choked and he did get rewarded with the Bleak Storm.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
Like, that can't be denied.
Mm-hmm. And we lose VGC. No.
2-2, baby!
2-2. 2-2. Want me to do a quick feature for my game when it's on? Yeah, sure. We're getting towards the end of the series, so your game is coming up in a few more games.
I'm kidding, Glop.
Wow, just say you hate the guy. Alright. Got J-Scurf versus Jesse 504.
This is a banger.
Banga. Right. So Terra fighting Annihilate, which was expected, and then Terra fighting Clawitzer.
Terra Steel Crown.
And Terra Steel Crown. No. Terra fighting Clawitzer. And then on the other side, Terra Fairy Zarude. And then Terra Water on the Salazzle. Alright. Clawitzer is good, dude. Low-key, it's like Mega Blastoise, but like 70%. It's like 70% of a Mega Blastoise, which is good enough.
But it can't change its typing and hold an item.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Yep.
To be fair, this was our hope attempt of checking Iron Bundle, because holy Iron Bundle.
Yeah, Iron Bundle was literally very good in this matchup. Forces an AV on something, whether it's Annihilate, Iron Crown, or I guess Clawitzer. Like, I really expected one of these two. The Ape or the Crown. But yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, Clawitzer leads off into Terrapagos. Nickname King 05, so you already know it's going to pop off. Goes for a Calm Mind. Right, but Flip Turn comes out, breaks the shell. And if this is Scarf Annihilate, it can just go to there. Not even Scarf, right? It could just be faster. It goes for Terra Fighting CC. Yeah. But the Choppleberry, you know we already thought about that. And what do we have? We have Dazzling Gleam. GG! Basically, in the middle of the week, just he was like, yo, my Terrapagos sets are not doing anything. Ats me. He's like, hey, give me a Terrap set. I was like, yo, lead off with this. It'll work. And it did. Shout out.
Yeah. Did anybody ask?
You're like, I just gotta let people know. I'm just so good. I'm just so good, man. Yeah. Alright, U-turn breaks our balloon on the Salazzle, but because the Enamorous is benched, we don't need that balloon to come in on, you know, an Earth Power or anything like that. And now Will-O-Wisp into Sludge Bomb.
Clawitzer, baby.
Yup, but it is chipped now. Meow comes in. I wonder if this Meow even kills the Salazzle. Yeah, I don't think it does with no item. But U-turn comes out. We pickpocket the Assault Vest, which is a cool tech. I know, it's to deny rocks, which is pretty cool.
It was basically the best deterring method we had for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Check bundle too, surprisingly.
Yeah, I thought about running that.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It totally bundled.
I think I ran that in a mock versus this team, like a previous week, because I think we played multiple Meowscaradas in the season. But, yeah. Now, Zarude comes in on the Earthquake. Fair enough. Now, Serp comes in. I'm going to take a Max Attack Terra Blast here. I believe it's Max Attack anyways. Now, Salazzle comes in. Yep, true. What an idiot. It's actually Scarf Serp, which 2 it KOs our Salazzle, and now it's +4. Now, forced to go into our AV Tinkaton. Does 40%, and Gigaton comes out. Brings the Serp very low. Does the next one kill? It does. Okay. Iron Bundle comes out. Is this Scarf?
Good, doesn't it? Well,
nope. And obliterated. Claw
still
comes
winnable.
in.
Still winnable.
Yeah, we're still down, right? Zarude in, Iron Crown in, but Terra's expended.
Big Crowner.
Calm Mind's up as the Lando comes in. Tachyon, but we are a bulky Lando.
We're
so
in a great position. We should win here.
Never mind! What can I say?
Yeah. Oh, this was infuriating. It's have the game won once, fool on us. Have the game won twice. Yeah, again, there's just nothing we can do against the wrap that is
the Iron Bundle. Yeah. Like Zarude just wins as well.
Right, you know, we get the turn here, yeah, but Zarude's just too.
He's too juicy.
Yeah, because we basically hope for like mirror herb stuff there, but eh.
Mm-hmm. That knocks off
the
this
AV.
was
certainly one that got away, and especially when you're in a position where you we needed to get the series win to have any sort of chance because of our game diff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was definitely the demoralizing one.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yo, J-Scurf, what's up, man? So J-Scurf is kind of interesting because he's simultaneously in the finals of a tournament right now for Swish Cup, but also he's lost his last like 9 Team Tour games in a row. But like, it's not his fault, man. Like, look at this game. It's just
no, this game was.
The gods do not want him to win in a team tour. Like, it's just illegal.
But he can't hit the double digits. Like, not even Zern hit the double digits, so.
No way. Make a
Yeah.
video on my
Just
recent
have it.
team tour luck. Let me know. I mean, you can make that video if you want. That sounds like more your job, not my job. I can't believe Infernal Armory needs hacks to win a series. Yo,
Bro.
series not over. Aster J versus ID
Very
Cup.
much not over.
Whoa. And this is a little bit tough because Mega Shark into no dark resist. Oof. W self-loathing. Yeah, unfortunate.
But
This
it's
game's a
also,
banger. It
holy
is.
shit, Zardex into wins.
Yes,
We're
a
not
lot of big
careful.
threats on both sides in this game. A lot of big threats.
Yeah.
Draft a dark resist. It's simple. It's not that simple, sadly. All right, let's get into the game. Mesprit leads off into Mesprit. Love to see it. But here, is that a Spec Shadow Ball?
Spec Mesprit.
Spec Shadow Ball. Okay, into Spadef Mesprit. Now Zard's gonna pivot in. So rocks up. We do roost up on this kind of, but Shadow Ball is gonna drop eventually. So Aster probably gonna have to start hitting this. Does start hitting this. Goes for a Dragon Claw. 43. It's doing a lot. It's pretty likely for a Shadow Ball drop to happen at some point, and I believe it happens this turn here on turn 6. Nope, it's turn 7. My bad.
Nope.
I just baited, outsmarted, all that stuff, and there it is.
There we go.
Now Dragon Claw is going to bring this Mesprit in rocks range, and there's no... Yeah. But there's... Zards goes down. So now we get a Beast Boost. Shout out. But Heatran comes in. +1 Sacred Sword doesn't kill, even if we're not choiced. Now, rocks go up, but Blastoise can come in on this and spin. Not only removes the rocks, but also removes the trapping effect from Magma Storm. So nice we don't get chipped. Protects to get some more leftovers, and now Heatran, it is pretty adamant on staying in. It makes me think this might be weakness policy or something, trying to bait a Scald or something, or Surf.
No, we just wanted to chip on this because this is your pseudo dark resist.
It is, yeah. Another Seismic Toss. Now we go Mesprit here, which was interesting because if you're gonna rocks, now is the time to do it on potential protect.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like this Mesprit sack. I think he also thought that his Mesprit would live a Magma Storm for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what is up with that,
this
but
up trolled here because we were last move Explosion. So you should have always boomed on this thing. But he got
Sure,
greedy
yeah.
looking for the extra damage output, and unfortunate miss, which
Mhm.
could have potentially bit us in the ass. We'll get into it.
all right. Now Nidoking comes in
Speaking of
as
biting
the
in the
Coco
ass.
switch in, and booyah! Choice banded crit Brave Bird. We were Scarf Nidoking with Scarf Ice Beam, like Men's check, Lando check. Scarf Sludge Wave kills everything that's not Lando. So like this would have been a really nice tool to have in the end game, I'm not gonna lie. But
Was it meant to be?
it really was not meant to be. Now Torn comes in on the Coco. It's locked into Brave Bird, which gives us the opportunity to agility. And
This is why the boom would have been nice, but
yeah, but well, whatever.
Yeah.
Now Icy Wind's gonna knock out the Lando. So now look at Scarf Sludge Wave, huh? Never mind. It's cool.
Yep.
I get it. Coco comes in. Most obvious quick attack.
of all
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm. Now Stoice comes in to spin to allow Torn to regen up a little bit, I think. Now Mence comes in, and we do actually have Roar last on this Blastoise, so Mence can't exactly DD on this, even if it wanted to. So Z's to knock us
so
out.
We definitely should have. No, because that's interesting, because we were debating this after the game in terms of. So we were Tailwind on this Salamence.
Mhm.
So we were wondering, was Tailwind actually a better play here to kind of open up Shark? And I guess if you're Roar, then yeah, it's 100% the play. Because we thought there that it might have been Ice Beam last.
So with the advanced
So-
intel that I have on Aster's team, we would have won, I think, if you did that.
If Roar goes into Shark, yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Shark would... Okay, you protect to stall out a turn of Tailwind. Shark crunches, kills Blastoise.
boost.
Yes.
Yep.
Kartana comes in. Your HP fire, surely, right?
Yes.
However, our Kartana is specifically EV'd for HP Fire Shark. It's Salic Berry.
Oh.
we SD on that turn, we're faster, we one-shot everything.
Wait, it's specific for HP fire. Okay, interesting.
Yep. And if you KO with quick attack, we just agility with Torn and we win. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
However, comma.
Wow, okay.
However, comma. Back to reality.
Yeah,
Back to
actual
reality. Yep. There goes gravity. There goes Icy Wind. Now Sharpedo comes in.
And here comes a shark.
Yep.
And this is a 50-50.
This is a 50-50 because we are Z Torn. We are Z Sludge Wave. And if Sharpedo megas, it might live, but if it megas, you know, it's gonna, I don't know. You know, I think Aster kind of trolls this a little bit, unfortunately, but also like he had no information on the Ments at this point, which was kind of important. But actually, I think he did troll this.
Intimidate.
There's no Intimidate, yeah. So I think what should have happened is you just Agility here. Right? Is that right? No, you just attack. So this was correct, I think. Just go for the Z, which will get some chip.
If you
to
live
protect.
HP fire, then yeah, this is correct.
But here, he goes Kartana trying to farm regen.
Yeah, this is the bit.
This was the troll, I think. Again, I'm not... I think we were EV'd for HP fire. He said that at some point in the prep channel, but also this Kartana set, like the bulk on it changed multiple times throughout the week, so I don't know if that's completely up to date or not. But if it was up to date, this was a troll for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually just going to double check. Yeah, no, we were adamant nose burst attack. And
Yeah, so we would have lived, yeah. And then Kartana Leaf Blade is going to get the beast boost, and then Salamis is at 40, what, 47? Is that in range of Smart Strike at +1? I think it might be.
Should be, yeah.
So maybe Aster trolled a little bit there, but ID Cup comes out with a win, and that's going to be the game. And now what? You guys are up 3-2 versus us, right? Yeah, this is 3-2.
No, it's 3-3.
Oh, it's 3-3. Yeah, you're right. 3-3.
Yeah.
All right, Glop is going to hop on for his game. All right, let's get Glop in here.
Which, very much a case of do or die for our season at this point, because a tie was not going to do it for us. We needed to get these last 2 wins. So, and this game was right after the cup game, where we were kind of riding off a bit of a high.
These 3 games at the end were back to back to back. So, hype moment for the spectators.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Big Glopper. All right, guys. We can't play these guys in playoffs, right? So I can just like leak prep.
No, they're yeah.
Yeah, we're fucked.
All right, cool. All right, so your boy Glop versus TDG, one of the titans of Swish, a historic battle in the making. Now, fun fact: last time him and I played, I do believe he came out victorious, a narrow 1-0 victory. So obviously, going into this, you know, I'm set on getting revenge not only for myself but also avenging my fallen teammates and hopefully securing us at the worst a tie for the week. So. Going into this game here, I've got a Spadef Uxie with Citrus Berry, Stealth Rock Encore, Psychic U-Turn, wanted Psychic for a Nidoqueen that was benched. Interestingly enough, he decided to bring the Aurorus. I've got Mixed Defensive Melmetal with Iron Defense Body Press Toxic. The idea being is that we had seen fatter Kartanas throughout the week in mocks, and so I wanted something that could basically force out Cart and land a Toxic onto one of the candidates like Zapdos or Blastoise. I knew that would be really helpful long term. I've got a Mystic Water, Calm Mind, Keldeo, just meant to really do a lot of damage, break. Scarf Weavile. The whole reason behind this is that I wanted insurance versus Shell Smash Blastoise. It's kind of like the TDG bring. But also in an endgame, like if you look at his team, right? Once Blastoise and Aurorus is down, there's no Ice Resist. And there's only a grand total of 0 Dark Resist on their team, right? So like Scarf knockoff, pretty strong. The Zygarde here is a Dragon Dance, Thousand Arrows Glare substitute set with Lumberry. So substitute was nice because in a lot of mocks I was seeing like Toxic Zapdos where I could like DD once on the first Toxic and then sub on the next one, and they're kind of just fucked because he's got no Thousand Arrows resist. And Glare was nice to basically snipe off like defensive Kartana or Scarf Kartana. And then the last one here is a Defog Bat, mostly meant just to be the switch into the Kartana. Defog, Hurricane, Toxic, and Roost. So if you want to go ahead and start it up.
All right. Leads off with these Salamans as Melmetal is the lead. So good trade
Right.
for Glop.
Lead here. I'm scouting the fire move, right? So I'm gonna go into Uxie. I don't want to take like a big flamethrower, fire blast off the rip. Obviously unfavorable position. Got to switch out here into Crobat. He goes for the knockoff. And I mean, switch is pretty obvious here, right? So Toxic is pretty free click. It's gonna hit either Zapdos or Aurorus. In this case, it's the Aurorus. Don't want to assume too much information about this thing. Like if I go hard into Keldeo and a freeze dry, I'm just like fried. So I'm like, okay, I'll just use my middle here. It's a good opportunity. And now it's pretty safe to throw off the Toxic because in my opinion, like the card's just not going to come back. But I go for Iron Defense, as I just don't go for a Toxic. I guess in my head, yeah, I needed to like scout and see what his line of play was. So this gets me information on Mence that it's like the defensive check to Melmetal, which I guess makes sense.
And
Toxic Miss is really crucial.
Yeah, this basically ruins the next like 20 turns.
It really fucks his. It really does fuck his game plan. And the funny thing is, all week long, I was Heal Bell on Uxie, and I like day before changed it to Encore because I didn't want to deal with like Iron Defense, Calm Mind, weird fucking Lele sets because it's TDG. Like you can never truly expect what this guy is gonna bring. So, in hindsight, obviously, if I had Heal Bell, that miss doesn't matter, but I don't. So definitely, really gonna change the outcome of how this all plays out.
I'll get into that later in terms of why I think Heal Bell honestly wouldn't have been as bad as Encore. Like we'll kind of get into it as you'll see that
as we play out.
Later.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bring out Keldeo here. I'm just kind of like bluffing Specs Icy Wind. He kind of has to respect it, so I'm able to go for a Calm Mind. Works out for me, able to throw off Surf as it reveals to be fucking Scarf Zapdos. So I was like, okay. And then this thing comes in. Based on the damage we see here after the Psychic Seed, it's revealed to be max HP. So the roll is like, it's like a 43% chance for me to get this KO. And I'm just like, okay, I can either be the boss and go for this roll and get it, and I just roll TDG, or I don't get the roll and I look like a bitch and everybody in my team calls me a fraud. So I was like, let me slow down, right? Like I don't need to get this far ahead. I'm already in a great position. Let's just let the sequences play out. So I get back in Uxie here. Gonna give me another opportunity to go for the Stealth Rock as he's gonna switch out, I believe, back into Salamence. Yep. And I know the defog's coming. He's got a Scarf Zapdos, so like Encore is a very free click for me here. This is where if Toxic was on, obviously these plays don't happen. So definitely an advantage for me as I'm able to get my own rocks back up again. And like, I don't know, here I was just very sure that Freeze Dry was not coming out, so I wanted to like put Keldeo in the field and get pressure. I didn't even calc Meteor Beam, to be honest with you, but like it's Keldeo, so it's gonna live, right?
Yeah, of course.
And this nets me a KO with Surf, which is pretty fantastic. So he's gonna be forced turn to Zapdos. Pretty sensible play. I know in no world are you ever clicking the fucking electric move because I know your Scarf and he knows I know that. So I just go into Melmetal. And this is where the Toxic is pretty free because like the Mence has shown that it wants to get in and get a defog off. So this is where Toxic is really nice, able to catch this thing. And basically here, all I have to do is just trade down Uxie, right? Because like Uxie was here like mostly to help with the Lele, but I don't need its health now that Lele is at 50%, right? So I can just use this to basically force rocks to stay up forever. So I call his defog here, go for the Encore. And then in the next turn, I know he's going to go for the Roost.
Yeah, so here you Encore.
So no, I go for a U-turn because this is how I keep the rocks up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is how I get it. Because I get back in Keldeo and now Surf's a kill
in range. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was cinema, by the way. The sequence.
No, it was. No, the sequence was really tough. Yeah. Like I really sat there because I was like, I could have encored first, but I was like, no, let me rocks then U-turn.
Yeah.
So that works out great. I go for Artistry here because I have to like threaten this if it's a Shell Smash Blastoise. And like I want to talk about this a little bit here because like in the moment I didn't think too much about it, but when I see Scald, so Artisphere reveals that it's max HP. A Blastoise Shell Smash could totally be max HP. It really doesn't need a lot of speed to outspeed all my team at +2. So it's not unreasonable that it could be a max HP Shell Smash Blastoise. But Scald probably should have been the tell there because that kind of implies that it's like a defensive set. I don't know how much that would really change the way I sequence things, but in my mind, I'm still playing it like this could be offensive Shell Smash, which is why in the subsequent turn I go into Uxie. Because I want to go for Encore, right? So if he's fast Shell Smash, I catch the Encore, or I catch a Shell Smash and he's locked in. And if he's slow, then I get information and he's locked in the Skull, which is like whatever, right? So Psychic at this point, no immunity, just gets free chip on something. Works out for me. I'm able to go into Melmetal here. He knows I'm Iron Defense, right? So I go for it. I go for Body Press because I was like, I didn't know what the Blastoise was yet. And this point, now I see it's defensive. I'm like, this thing can kind of be a problem. So I go into my Zygarde here. I know it's obviously going to be Sleep Talk, but I don't know the last move. So I go for my DD. Right, odds are in my favor that like something egregious won't happen here. He has to pull like a 1 out of 3 Ice Beam, right? So I go for my 1,000 arrows. I need to keep this thing low because it's the only thing stopping Weavile from winning. And then I do want to talk about this turn here, because everybody like in the server was like, "Why didn't you Dragon Dance?" And at this point, Blastoise is confirmed to be max defense, which I know. But the problem is that Ice Beam, like, it has a role where it can kill Zygarde. I think it's definitely in my favor to live it, but it is a role. I think it's like it was like a 50. It was close to a 50-50 or slightly me favored. I don't like rolls like that. So in my mind, if I go for a Dragon Dance on turn 31 here and he wakes up and he kills me and he's at 50 whatever, it gets way harder to win. Like, I really have to hack him down with Crobat, which is just not ideal. So before I was going to ever commit to Dragon Dancing again, I wanted to get information on what the last move was. And at this point in the game, I still don't have it. So either way, like, also there's crits, right? Like, there's a lot of things that can go in my favor. Yeah. So I go for another 1,000 arrows here as it ends up showing another Scald, which is fine. And I really consider Dragon Dancing this turn, but like, again, if it is Ice Beam last and he goes for it, I was like, dude, I will literally be clowned on for the rest of my fucking life. I will never hear the end of this battle. If I Dragon Dance and he Ice Beams, everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, Glop sucks. So I was like, let me just play it safe, like, because I'm still very much ahead, right? So there's really no need to do all that fancy shit. Zapdos comes out, obvious Hurricane, so I just go out into my Melmetal, and then I go for Iron Defense because I was like, well, this is good because Blastoise has to like spend that turn to wake up, like, and like you have to roll Scald and get the burn, so surely this is a good position for me. And it reveals to be fucking Roar. And I was like, okay, well, this changes things drastically now. Because now I got to start the Dragon Dance sequence back up again. Fortunately, do still have that Lumberry, right? So it is in my favor to not really get statused. But this just becomes a lot more awkward because now it's like, yes, I don't die if he pulls the third move being Roar, but I also get forced out, so I'm not actually forcing progress as easily as I'd like to. And I had Taunt on this Crobat earlier in the week, and I made it toxic because, again, defensive Zapdos was really annoying for my build. So I wanted ways to put pressure on that. And that actually is going to cost me a lot because I'm basically kind of in this loop where I've just got to like stall turns and kind of just hope for Hurricanes. Now, as you're going to see how these turns play out, I'm going to hit every fucking Hurricane. I'm going to get confuses, right? But I want to say this was still favored for me to win just because of the fact that, like, at any point, if I bring in Zygarde on a Sleep Talk or on a rest turn, I can at least Dragon Dance once and then start hitting it again. And like, unless he always keeps pulling Scald or keeps pulling the Roar, long term, like, I should be okay. It just, the game would have been way more drawn out. But fortunately for me, I just have no guard, Crobat, and I get the confuse, and I get the confusion, which just expedites the process. Like, I do think there are worlds where he wins. It's just not in his favor. Like, if you look at the raw statistics.
Once you look at, like, Crobat, right? Is he going to get stalled out of Sleep Talks? Like, low-key, once you're stalled out of Sleep Talks, Zygarde just completely owns it. And
that's the other thing I was thinking about. I was like, okay, worst case scenario, what I do is I start a series of double switches where I basically stay with Bat, I get him low, I get the rest turn, I go to Zygarde on the rest turn, and then I go back to Bat on the Sleep Talk, and I would basically have to extract Sleep Talks in that way. Like, I was already thinking about this in my head as this was playing out, but I was like, fuck it, like, I'm going to go for the confusion because it just speeds it up. Yeah, like, I know what I have to do to win. I may as well go for the easier path, right? Yeah. So fortunately, plays out well. At this point, there's really no reason to switch out the Crobat. It's at, what, 12% after burn or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you also have the thing where every time you go for the Hurricane hacks, it still puts you in that position to do the Zygarde Crobat sequence to get more Sleep Talks out. It just, this speeds it up quite a bit.
Like, quite a bit, yeah. And there's no need to switch because even if he is Scarf, then I guarantee win because I would go into Weavile with Scarf Foul Play and I'd just knock him out and it would also KO the Zapdos. But ends up playing out this way. He's able to kill me with Hurricane. I just go into, my Misto hurt and I show him that my Misto's hurting and I go for an Ice Shard. And that's that. So,
yeah.
It was,
I guess like, the only thing.
Go ahead.
You said you were sub, right?
Yeah. Why would I sub in front of Roar though? You know what I mean? That's kind of stupid. I guess. Like, if I sub and he roars, then I just wasted 25% of my health.
Sub doesn't do anything because
if you thought the last move was Ice Beam, that would sub have actually been better? Like, say the sub on the turn you were considering DDing again?
If I know it's Ice Beam in the end game, then yeah, going for a sub at some point is good because 2 out of 3 times the move that is pulled doesn't break the sub. But I didn't have that information yet, so I can't assume that. So, like, on the turn where, like, the turn 31, right? If I DD again and Ice Beam kills me, I lose. or like if I sub and it's Ice Beam, now I'm at 40% or whatever, like 48%, and I'm always in range of Ice Beam after that. So then the sequences we were describing with like the Crobat and switching, like none of that could play out.
Yeah.
So I had to get the information first to figure out what that last move was, which is why like Melmetal is definitely more expendable at this point in the game. Like I don't need it anymore because really all it is, it just became a Weavile waiting room. It was just a matter of all I have to do is find a way to remove this Blastoise, no matter how many turns it takes. And the minute that happens, you just sweep with knockoff.
Let's be fair. This is a fatter cart, which I don't think was information that was really gotten to be revealed. But like
Well,
it
the
was a
psychic
fatter like helmet
damage,
cart.
you would.
Yeah, the psychic damage was like the only thing.
Right. So if I missed Hurricane with Crobat, I'm pretty sure I would have just gone into Melmetal first and go for Body Press because I need information on it. Right.
Yeah.
I don't need Melmetal South. So if it is a fat synthesis cart, Body Press for my set does like, I think it's like 44 minimum. So I basically just keep body pressing until he's forced to like heal, and then I can go for Iron D on that turn. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. But yeah, I think this was just kind of one of those games that I think TDG was very much in the back from that first Toxic Miss.
Yeah,
because
no,
it meant he lost the Hazard's War, and as soon as the Hazard's War was lost, especially seeing as it was a Scarp Zapdos, and that the Melmetal like helmet responsive choice was Mence, it did just make it a hell of a lot more difficult, and there was just kind of not a lot you could do. It was just kind of a slow grind.
It's so funny because earlier in the week I was Heal Bell on the thing, and I was like offensive like Ice Punch Melmetal, specifically for like Zapdos to bait it and then Earthquake it, and also for Mence. Like I had that earlier in the week, and it just wasn't doing anything. But I always knew like going into this game that it would be so hard to account for the things that TDG will bring just because it's him. Like I can't predict this guy. Nobody can. So I really wanted to go with things that I just felt like were more based on how sequences were going to play out and less about what I thought he was going to bring. Because I knew that like if I have the tools, that I can outplay.
Mm-hmm.
But if I like try to hard call what he does and I just get it totally wrong, then I'm caught with my pants down kind of thing. So
Yeah, we don't want our pants down in the series.
hell no.
All right.
All right, I'm going to bounce. I don't want there to be too many chefs in the kitchen, so good luck with the rest of the comms, guys.
I appreciate it.
Well, you say that, but I will probably hop off soon, so you'll be free to hop back on if you're interested. So.
I actually already got something with a friend that I've got arranged. I got to leave in like 20 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Oh gosh. Just say you hate me. I get it.
Yeah, I just hate you all five.
Man. The truth
And
comes
he's
out.
gone.
Alright. Alright. And now we have the series decider game, which is going to be me versus who? I got Pandades.
Who?
Thank you. Get your who jokes out. Anyways.
No, to be fair, you say series decider, but obviously we were at a point where it was like we
Well,
would
it's still
if we had managed to.
It
Yeah,
decides
like,
the series, whether it's a tie or a win for us.
But like, it didn't really feel like it mattered a crazy amount because we would have needed like multiple 7-1s.
Well, it matters to us. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely want the 2 points for this week. Alright, so.
Yeah.
Who, known for his fat teams, this is no different, right? There's a Darkrai on the bench. Only who would bench Darkrai versus this team? Like, literally only he would. In favor of, like, Whimsicott. And then the other thing on the bench was a Cyclizar. Right, so my sets. I just have basically a standard Terrapagos, not gonna lie. 3 attacks spin. Just Earth Power. I think the other one was Flamethrower and Starstorm. So just modest, does a lot of damage. The only thing really stopping this thing from taking KOs is an AV Aloe or a Spadef Clodsire. And those things are quite pressured by the rest of my team. I have a Rocks Taunt Helmet Landorus designed to chip down the Corviknight. I'm able to... I EV to always live a Chi-Yu Overheat after Rocks, so I am quite Spadef. And another thing I can do with this Lando is actually just trade favorably into AV Aloe. A lot of people in mocks were using like Corviknight as the initial switch in, and then when they get taunted, they U-turn to Aloe. But I can just Earthquake Aloe, because I really expect AV in this matchup. And Earthquake plus Helmet plus Rocks, it's putting it in range of my special attackers, like, very, very easily. Same thing can be said with my Keldeo, right? I'm actually Terra Flying here. This is partially a bluff. I don't have any Air Slash. I don't have anything. This is AV Keldeo, designed as a way to slow down the Chi-Yu. Basically, I decided I'm never getting through Clodsire, AV Aloe, plus Whimsicott ever, so I may as well use my Keldeo defensively, because that typing is pretty nice to resist the Chi-Yu stabs. And instead I'm going to be tearing my Hydreigon this game, which is going to be Terra Dark, Choice Specs Modest, which is going to 2-hit KO basically any Clodsire. Max Spadef is like a roll, and there's flinch chance and all that. It's basically unwallable. It 2-hit KOs every single resist, even like a bulky Whimsicott, like max HP is 2-hit KO'd after rocks. Chi-Yu is 2-hit KO'd, just raw. Darkrai is 2-hit KO'd. AV Aloe, like max AV, is 2-hit KO'd after rocks. Like, it's just an unguardable button to click. And to get that in, I have U-turn Lando. And everything that comes in on Lando does not really appreciate Hydreigon. So that was like the main core that I had, is rocks up, taunt, U-turn into Specs Dark Pulse repeatedly. AV Keldeo, we already went over.
Yep.
My Weavile is going to be Adamant Life Orb, Swords Dance with Shard, Axle, Knockoff. I went for Adamant because Darkrai, while it is a speed tie that I could have gone for with Jolly, I felt like that really wasn't worth it, and I'd rather just be Adamant, and there's certain sequences that he could go for that allow my Weavile to get +4. If I'm able to do that, then the game just ends, because +4 Shard OHKOs Darkrai, OHKOs everything. That would be like if Aloe is Fizdef and is the response to my Weavile, I Swords Dance on the switch to that, I Swords Dance again, he can't kill me, and I basically get as many kills as I have Life Orb HP, which is going to be a lot of kills, let me tell you. So this Weavile was definitely very scary for him. It does stuff like OHKO Corviknight after rocks at +2, very cleanly with triple Axle, as well as Ice Shard means, you know, Scarf Chi-Yu can't really revenge me unless it is not Terra'd yet. I faced basically mono Terra Fairy in Mox, but he was Terra Fighting, which is pretty smart, right? It hits all the same things, being the Hydreigon and the Weavile, but also denies Terrapagos as a one-time pivot, which Fairy would not be able to beat. One thing, though, means my Keldeo is not hit super effectively, so honestly, all things considered, I'll take it. My Metagross is going to be Agility with Psychic Noise, Psychic Fangs, and Heavy Slam. Basically, I knew this Chi-Yu was going to tear eventually, and once it does, Agility Metagross doesn't have too many answers. The only thing that can really stop it is a Iron Defense Body Press Corviknight. If it's literally any other set on all of their Mons, he just loses to Metagross very, very comfortably. Even if he brought Darkrai, I am Metal Coat, which is a very favorable roll to kill from full, even if it's Boots. So yeah, this Metagross was a big endgame threat. And yeah, let's get right into the game. So Chi-Yu leads off.
Just to explain the Darkrai benching. Just to explain the Darkrai benching on our end. The idea was the Terraflying Keldeo, as you said, was a bluff. But the Terraflying Keldeo was one that we saw a hell of a lot in testing. So that led to a very specific Whimsicott that was brought instead, which you'll kind of see its purpose in part of the game, but you don't really kind of see it fully, solely because of the fact you weren't actually coming Keldeo. So.
Yeah, I knew it would be a threat for you, but I also knew that who's going to have something for it, whether that's Flip Turn into Encore, that sequence, which I thought was probably the most likely one, or the Claude is going to be like Poison Jab or something to hit Flying Keldeo, maybe like even Rock Slide, but that's a little bit far-fetched. Either way, I knew you would prep for that, so...
Yeah. Claude did have 4 move slot syndrome, which you'll kind
100%,
of... I think you'll see some of it in the game, and I'll say the rest of it because it's a bit wacky.
Now here, I really wanted to click Rocks this turn at lead because I know I live any hit besides Specs. But if it is Specs, I'll lose my Lando turn 1, and my game plan is really based around Rocks staying up. Which is kind of funny because it's versus Who and he loves like great hazard control, but versus my team specifically, it's really hard for them to remove hazards. Like every mock I was keeping Rocks up the entire game. It's just how my team functions versus his. He has to play with Rocks up, unfortunately. But if it's Specs lead, and it was Terra Fighting, which means I can go to Keldeo for free. If it was Terra Fairy, I probably would have just stayed in and got Rocks up, but because it's Terra Fighting, I decided to go Keldeo instead, but he catches that with the Aloe switch. But one thing that I really want to avoid in this matchup is giving Chi-Yu too many free turns. I have pivots to it, but they are limited, right? Keldeo can come in maybe once or twice, but outside of that, Terrablast Fighting is really hard for me to switch into. I'd have to go Lando, which he can obviously call with a Flamethrower to it KO me. So I really want to avoid flip turn to Chi-Yu. And I thought, okay, Aloe versus Keldeo, his most likely play is going to be flip turn this game, or this turn. So I'm just going to Secret Sword, kind of a do-nothing turn, because it's regen off. But he goes for Play Rough, chips me down a little bit. 31%, not too impactful. I'm going to be honest, I still checked Chi-Yu quite well. Now he goes for the flip turn, but now, because he did that, his Aloe is a little bit chipped, and this will be important for my Hydreigon and my Terapagos, stuff like that. Now Whimsicott comes in, but I can just go to Lando on this. I want to get my rocks up. As he goes for a Leech Seed, I remember correctly. Yep, there's the Leech Seed. I'm fine taking this chip. I'm just going to get the rocks up. Now Aloe regens up to full. That's fine, but I'm just going to go back to my Keldeo as I expect a flip turn, and this is the only way that I can prevent Chi-Yu from coming in and basically claiming a KO. So get that play correctly. Now Whimsicott comes in again, but again, I have a very bulky Lando. Even if it's like Moonblast or something, I'm fine with this. I'll take the Leech Seed in exchange for a U-turn, regaining momentum. Now U-turn on the Aloe. Now my Hydreigon comes in, and this is the first entry point for Hydreigon. I'm just going to click Dark Pulse, and it will be a KO or really heavy progress. Here I go for a Dark Pulse. He can't Mirror Coat because I'm a Dark type. Goes for a flip turn, big chip. Now Clodsire comes in, but like I said, Clodsire can't really avoid the 2-hit KO from me, so I'm just going to stay in and take my 2-hit KO. Go for Dark Pulse, does 55, and I get a flinch, which is very fortunate, because he clicked rocks, and those rocks would have been pretty annoying. That being said, spinning is not impossible. I can Earth Power Pecharunt, and it's not the end of the world. But he could play in a way to make spin difficult for me, but my Terapagos does have spin, and if I need to spin, I can, most likely, but still, lucky break for me, and Dark Pulse is going to clean 2-hit KO this, so he's forced out into Whimsicott, which is also going to get very clean 2-hit KO'd by Dark Pulse, does 47. He reveals Endeavor. I always live on Moonblast, so I was pretty comfortable staying in, taking this KO, opening up my Keldeo a little bit more, opening up a bunch of stuff, because Whimsicott was kind of hard to switch into. I say hard, not really, but I didn't want my Metagross to get like Stun Sport or anything like that, given that it's one of my win conditions. So getting rid of it was worth my Hydreigon HP in this game state. Now Chi-Yu comes in. Basically, I have to pick a sack. It's going to be my Keldeo, as he goes for a Terrablast Fighting, which is about as expected. Now here, I had a few options, right? I can pivot back to my Landorus if I really want to, but if this is Helmet Corviknight, the Terrablast plus U-turn into Corviknight is going to be not a fun time. So I decided, okay, this Chi-Yu, because it's Terra Fighting, it's not taking very much rocks, so I do kind of want a little bit of chip from Vacuum Wave here to put it into my Ice Shard range from Weavile, because Adamant Shard does 42 minimum, which means Vacuum Wave, after a few more rocks, is going to put it in range of that Ice Shard. I just need to wait it out. And now I get my Landorus in. He's forced out very, very comfortably. And I can just go for a free U-turn here. If he stays in, he's in Shard range, which is what I wanted in the first place. And if he switches, it's to Corv, and I can get another Specs Hydreigon hit. Corviknight, with that U-turn, doesn't reveal anything because it's really hard to calc low damage stuff like this, but I am pretty confident that it's max defense, so Dark Pulse is just gonna basically be a roll in my favor on 84% Corv, and if it stays in to like body press me, I'll happily take that trade, because then, you know, everything wins. Like Metagross immediately wins, right? One agility and the game ends. So I was perfectly happy taking that trade. Dark Pulse knocks out the Claude, as it is the sack. Now Chi-Yu comes in. Now here, it's two possible plays, right? If he goes for Flamethrower, then that's kind of rough. But if he goes for the Terrablast Fighting, basically if he goes for Flamethrower, which he probably is going to, then I can go Terapagos and threaten a spin, potentially snipe the Pecharunt. Actually, would I even spin? I don't even need to spin at this point, but Starstorm would bait in the Pecharunt most likely, and I can actually double out on that thing back into the Hydreigon. So I'm just going to sack my Landers here. If he goes for Terrablast Fighting, then that's pretty cool. Like, Terrablast Fighting would cover a hard Terapagos play, which is partially what I was expecting here. I wanted to come in on the Terra Blast, because if he flames and I go to wrap, then I avoid the 2-hit KO, and it's nice. But obviously there's no fire resist, so why wouldn't he flamethrower? As he does just click that. 2-hit KO is my Lando, and that's going to be that. But now I go into Terrapagos, and I know he's not going to flamethrower again because he needs this Pokemon. It's the only way he makes progress. So what's going to come in on this? It's either AV Aloe or Petulant. Both of them taken advantage by my Specs Hydreigon. Boom. Nice double. And I was really happy making this play, because this is like a game-winning play. I get basically up in the sack war here. Dark Pulse is going to very cleanly 2-hit KO this Alomomola. And now Chiyu comes in. Here, the Chiyu is guaranteed in my Ice Shard range. So this is what I wanted. Now here's the thing, right? Corviknight's at 84, which means my Metagross, if it is Iron Defense, is not really sweeping this endgame. So what I probably should have done is just sack Metagross here, and then go into Weavile, and just click Ice Shard, probably would have been pretty fair, or just go to Terrapagos and Starstorm. Either way, it's like not 100% like win path for me, not necessarily yet, but I believe keeping the Hydreigon would have been a little bit better. I do end up sacking it here just to allow a free switch in to my Weavile, or no, I would actually go Metagross because he Terra Blasts and not Flamethrower. So here, basically what I'm saying is if it's not Iron Defense Corviknight, I will win on the spot right now with an Agility. And he's locked into Terra Blast. We know it's Scarf. Corviknight comes in as I go for a Heavy Slam. Does 23%. He eats the Citrus Berry. I'm like, okay, interesting. Here I can go for a Agility, and if it's just like a U-turn Corviknight, which is very much a Who classic, then I'll just win because I'm EV to outspeed Scarf Chiyu, and obviously Petulant can't 1v1 a Psychic Fangs Metagross. But he does reveal the Iron Defense. Okay, so my Metagross doesn't win. Now, I have to make very particular plays. I have to go hard Terrapagos this turn 100%. He's going to go for the Body Press, break my shell, but now the threat here is Flamethrower into Weavile follow-up, because Weavile will just kind of win the game. But also, like, what I can do is if it's not in Weavile range after Flamethrower for whatever reason, I can go Metagross and Psychic Noise it, make sure it can't roost, and then chip it a little bit more into range of my Weavile. Basically, this was going to be in Weavile range no matter what, if he stays in, so he has to switch out. Petulant comes in, takes 27, revealing max HP. But here, I'm just going to Earth Power, no reason not to. He goes for a Foul Play, trying to catch my Metagross coming in on the Malignant Chain, but no such luck. My Earth Power does 49, which is well and truly enough. He can't really recover this off. My trap can just stay in. He goes for Gunk Shot, so he's physical Petulant, which makes sense into like a Calm Mind Keldeo. But now it's going to go down. So here, Chiyu comes in. I need to keep my Terrapagos as Flamethrower chip for the Corviknight. So at this point, my play is pretty exact. I need to sack Metagross, go Weavile, and Ice Shard this. So I sack my Metagross, I go Weavile, and I Ice Shard this. He can't switch into Corviknight because Ice Shard plus Axel will kill it. So Ice Shard does knock it out because Adamant Life Orb, and now Corviknight comes in. Now here's where it gets interesting, right? Iron Defense Body Press, we know this is the set, it's going to be Roost. That's all that really matters in this endgame. The fourth doesn't matter at all. So here's the thing, right? Axel is doing about 50 to this thing. But Axel is not 100% accurate. I don't know if you guys are aware. So I have two options. I can either call the Roost this turn in Swords Dance. Fourth matter if it's Agility. Yeah, maybe. But like, is it going to be Agility? No. It's just not going to do that. It's probably Defog Blast, to be honest. So I can SD predicting the Roost, but if he body presses, I just lose on the spot. So that's a little bit of 50-50. And the problem with that is if I get it wrong, I lose. That's the big problem of it. So But also, Axel into Flamethrower is always going to kill him. So he kind of has to roost, right? And he doesn't know I'm Sword Stance. So maybe I could have Sword Stance here. I really expected the roost, but what I can do here is I can just spam Axel. I wanted to condition him a little bit into roosting. Here's the roost. I was probably going to do... what I had in my mind is Axel one more time, and then the third time I'm going to Sword Stance, because at that point I've conditioned him. But here he actually gets the roost off as I miss an Axel, which is pretty important. So now I don't really have that same luxury of going for an SD. I mean, I can do it. He's likely to Iron Defense here. But again, if he body presses, I lose. So it's scary. So what I decided that I can do is I can remove prediction from the equation, right? I can just go for Axel. It'll bring him to about 45% because it does about half. He'll Iron Defense, which will then live the next Axel, but I can Sword Stance on the Forced Roost. Because if he just attacks me and kills, my Flamethrower will kill him. He has to roost outside of range of my Flamethrower. So I decided if I hit my Axels, I can do this predictionless. But obviously I have to hit my Axels. So there's one Axel. He Iron Defenses as expected. But now I can Sword Stance matching the boost as he roosts. And now another Axel is in order. So I go for another Axel. 1, 2, and 3 hits. Does just over half. Another Iron Defense. But here, I have to Sword Stance again because +2 into +4 does not kill from this range. I think it's a roll, but like in his favor. So I Sword Stance again, which is just the correct play. And now if I hit 3 Axels, it's looking really good. Go for it again. 1, 2, and 3. He goes for an Iron Defense, but because of how the multipliers work, +4 into +6, he's actually in range right now. So I just need to hit one more Axel. There's 1, 2, and 3. The Corviknight loses 1v1. We hit a lot of Axels, I'm not gonna lie. But that was my way of doing it without relying on like a 50-50 prediction, because obviously if he body presses on a Sword Stance turn, I just lose the game. This is the way to guarantee the win, assuming Axel hits every single time, which obviously maybe the odds are not in my favor, definitely not in my favor, but this is the sequence that I took, ended up with the win, and that's going to clinch the series for us. Bro basically hit a full pop bomb. Yep. No 50-50, yeah, but I love gambling. Yeah.
What was it, 15% total odds? I think we looked at that.
So to hit all the Axels that I did was about a 17% chance. However, that does not factor in if any of my big Axels crit, then I win, right? So obviously, yeah, exactly. A lot of math involved. I figured this was my safest option. Maybe in hindsight, I probably should have just ripped the Sword Stance immediately, turn 1, and then I only have to hit 1 Axel for a guaranteed win. But, I mean, it's scary in that position. Like, body press, I lose. I just lose. It's scary, man. But we hit them all.
Like, I think, like, this was a game that kind of you did seem in control of for the most part. I think the big thing was, like, I know we kind of... The Rock's turn was big, solely because... But it probably doesn't look as bad because of the fact that you let the Hydreigon go and you did. I think if you managed to keep the Hydreigon around to kind of force another kill or two.
Yeah, I definitely 100% should have sacked my Metagross instead of my Hydreigon earlier. Yeah. Just to have that insurance versus Corviknight, because Dark Pulse does like 90% to this. Like, it would have been so free. But given the path that I took... Rocks never mattered ever.
Clodsire was actually low kick Zen headbutt, so like it just had a bunch of wacky ass.
A low kick Zen, it's crazy. Yeah,
it was just to deal with the random ass dubs that it was going to constantly have to deal with.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, to be fair, I had another version with a setup Keldeo, which would have 100% beat that Clodsire 1v1. But yeah, you can't cover everything.
But like, that's the thing. You look at whose team and you think, oh, it should be well equipped for Keldeo, and then you realize like. Calmine Mental Herb still kind of absolutely messes it up.
Yes, it does.
So.
I had another version of this team where basically everything was like sub CM, sub SD, sub bulk up, all that stuff. And with pressure, Weavile pivoting in on Encore, Encore to PP stall Encore. It was so stupid. I didn't bring it, but it won every mock.
Oh my god.
Anyways, if you like this series, be sure to like the stream. Appreciate. We're at the halfway point. That's 2 series down, 2 to go. Yeah, if you want to like the stream, I would appreciate that. TJ, do you have to go?
Make-A-Wish's season, I think just like Make-A-Wish's season, which is, you know, at this point Capuzzo, I think it's fair enough for me.
They are 0-4. This is true.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens to some people more than others. I think this is the 4th time now that I've been on a team that their season's been over by like the start of week 5. But,
yep. You hate to see it,
you know,
man.
It is what it is. You go again, or do we go again? You know, I know everyone likes to make the jokes if I never quit team tours, but
yep, there is a YouTube short on that Burker made, which is very accurate.
oh,
right?
I was so mad at him that day when that happened.
Yeah, if you haven't checked that out, I mean, check it out. It's
You'll
very
find it
funny.
somewhere.
Yeah, but okay, let's move on to the next series. We have
Right.
this
Take
is
care,
going
guys.
to be
Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Thanks for joining, TJ. All right. Now let's take a look at Judgment versus Alliance. So this is 2 teams that are very much in the playoff race. Judgment definitely in the lead. They've won the first 3 weeks, I believe, so they're looking very nice positioned for playoffs. Whereas Alliance, they're definitely in the fight for that 4th seed, 3rd seed sort of thing. So a win for them would go a very long way versus Judgment. So definitely a lot to play for here. And we're going to see game 1 is Sword and Shield Addison versus Hydra. Alright. Is Zush still with us? He's in the VC. No talking? Alright, looks like it's just me. So Addison versus Hydra. Let me get this set up. Alright. So these players, obviously Addison having that fantastic run last year, going 8-0 for the Chrome Cabal in DCL Season 2. Back again once again with a very strong record so far in this season as well. Definitely one of the best Sword and Shield battlers active right now. Whereas Hydra, definitely on the up and coming when it comes to Sword and Shield. Definitely gotten quite a lot better recently, just judging from the eye test. So it should be a good game. Cinderace Mirror, pretty interesting stuff. Alright, let's look at the game. Rotom Wash leads off into Zapdos. Best Sword Shield batter of all time, some say. Yeah. Alright, sub Zapdos with leftovers as a lead. Makes sense. Extra Sensory gonna not even 2-hit KO Nidoking though, so I assume this is a Salt Vest Nidoking maybe? No, it's just Max Spadef. Wow.
And you're just dumb. Nah, just kidding.
Welcome back, Zush. So Max Spadef Nidoking gets the rocks up, but is going to go down to the next Extra Sensory, but the Custap Berry gets 30% chip.
I did 30.
Very cool. But given that the Zapdos is not Boots, that chip does feel a little bit more impactful than otherwise. Now Cinderace gets a free switch in. Pyro Ball pretty free here. The fire resists are not too stellar. Reveals Scarf Lando, but does not click Earthquake, predicting the Rotom. Hydra just doesn't expect the Scarf Lando, goes for a U-turn of his own, but
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Ends up with the momentum. Now Rotom Wash versus Cinderace, another U-turn is clicked. Shout out to Giraffe League, love that. Into Jirachi, do we see a Volt Switch? No, we see a Toxic.
Oh.
Ooh.
God read.
A very ugly Toxic. But now Jirachi in can probably just go for Rocks as Cinderace comes in for another Pyro Ball. Instead we U-turn though. Catches the Primarina, which is Boots. Gets a free switch into Pangoro.
Going to our 4x Ray Resist. Make it make sense.
Yeah, but he's got Aura, aka Gunk Shot. Addison reads that, goes into the Jirachi. Rotom Wash gonna come in on the Encore. Okay, very nice stuff.
A whole lot of nothing happening.
Yeah, very much of a nothing burger last like 3 turns, but now finally Rotom's in. Can go for a Volt Switch for momentum. No, a Discharge. I mean, fair enough. Right, Zapdos in. Probably gonna go for a Roost if I had to guess. You see a Heart Switch. Does this not have Volt Switch? Or running a non-Volt Switch Rotom in 2025?
Probably like Toxic Protect. Pump, Discharge.
Yeah, but I mean,
Or
sure.
But, yeah.
Zap's going to get the para immediately, which allows it to roost for free. As Whimsicott comes in, threatening Encore, probably going to force a switch out into the Jirachi, which is about as safe a switch as you can get. And we Toxic again into the Jirachi. Guys, it's a Steel type. really wants that Toxic on Zapdos, but Addison is not giving it up.
Yep.
Yeah, so now Jirachi can just go for a U-turn, regain momentum.
Oh.
Stun Spore is going to pair it, which is pretty nice. Now it's slower than stuff like Pangoro. Pretty impactful. Now another Stun Spore comes out, but it misses the Porygon Z, and that's going to be pretty impactful because there's no normal resist on this team. Would have loved to have this get parried, but Tri-Attack, that's just going to KO. I think this is Choice Specs PZ. Now Mew comes in, but it's slower. Goes for a Dragon. Is this Scarf?
No,
I would expect Specs to do more. Is this bulky DD Mew?
It's gotta be. There's no way it's just Oko's fucking Oko's Whimsicott without Specs or Life Orb.
You'd say that, but Whimsicott is not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon ever. Anyways,
Sure.
locked in a knockoff. This is Pangoro's chance to come in, go for a knockoff of its own, knock out the Lando T. Now the Scarf is gone, so Cinderace could be a pretty big threat. Just kidding, it's Parrot actually. I just remembered that. Now Specs PZ comes in, knocks that out. Rotom Wash comes in, definitely in range. So that Stun Spore really would have gone a long way, I'm not gonna lie. But it does feel like Addison was in the driver's seat. Regardless of that, it just sped up the process. I feel like that Zapdos long term would have been able to basically 1v1 the whole team long term. H-Wish Jirachi, yeah, probably would have healed up the PZ regardless, but yeah.
GG.
As we in the game 1-0 for Judgment Day. Now we get a game 2, JCM Shadow versus Lax, one of the biggest matchups of the week, right, in terms of player quality. Two of probably the most respected SC battlers in the tournament. And yeah, so we see a Sun team with Raging Bolt versus just like a more standard like Urshifu Rapid kind of team, right? You see the Healing Wish with it. You see like a fast Dark type, pretty standard stuff, Spice support. Let's see. So Ghost type on the Raging Bolt. This is just a free neutral click into a lot of guys, as it's really hard to go Darkrai on a Raging Bolt. A lot of ways that can go wrong. Whereas on the other side, we see Terra Fairy on the Urshifu Rapid. Alright. Get into it. Add me to the call. Yo. Agency.
Okay, he says team this series.
Alright.
He's on the tech.
Is he in
Tacticians,
my...
JD.
He's not in my server.
Nice, buddy.
Let me send that to him. Alright, we might be getting some insider information here.
Oh, great.
Anyways, yeah, this matchup, pretty offensive both ways, like a lot of threats for both sides. We get Agency in here for the game. Yeah. And he just can't read. Okay. I told him to join general.
Yeah.
Dude. There we go. What's up, Agency?
There he is.
How we doing today?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Right.
Ready for some detailed explanations of your plays?
Is there anything you wanted to add before we get into the game? Or just get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Raging Bolt leads off into the Urshifu Rapid. Immediate Terra Fairy, immediate Terra Ghost. Alright, no surprises here. We see a Terra Blast into a Terra Blast. Love to see that. Reveals to be Assault Vest Urshifu from that damage, I believe. But now Terra Blast, and now a Thunderclap would knock it out. So we're going to go Iron Treads, which is Booster Special Defense. Calls out the Thunderclap correctly, but basically we traded Terramon for Terramon in terms of HP. However, both have access to Healing Wish Latios, so
Yeah.
we might be seeing that again
They
later.
have double healing wish, actually.
Yeah, with the
Shadow.
Ninetales, yeah.
Goats.
Rocks go up and rocks go up, so very much a mirrored game so far. Cobalion comes in on the Latios, Reflect going up. Now, missed
hell
ball.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not a good turn.
That's not what-
Oh.
Okay, so T waves the Latios in exchange for 32 on missed ball. Probably a positive trade for JCM Shadow. Now Iron Treads is going to come in with Reflect up. It is threatening a spin. Can't exactly go Raging Bolt to spin block this because, you know, it's an Iron Treads. Catches the Volt Switch correctly, and now Body Press. Going to get a little bit of chip, but this spin is going to come out. And it's going to be kind of hard to get rocks up again. I say that, they're going up right now. Never mind. We're scouting Ice Beam out of respect or something, but Light Screen does go up. It's definitely Healing Wish last. You could have just got rocks up. Goes for a Roar
Big
into
roar.
our Shifu, which is going to be in range of like an Overheat or something, so Lack's going to switch right back into the Darkrai, which does take it quite well. Goes for a Dark Pulse and gets roared out again into Quillfish this time, which low-key not what you wanted to see. And we're just dead to, what,
Yeah,
a
it's
Choice
Choice
Banded?
Scarf.
Oh, it's Choice
I
Scarf.
think it's Scarf. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's
Scarf.
Scarf.
What is that even for?
I don't know. I still dies at T-Clap. I don't know. Really.
Yeah. And the mocks, Lax was using a lot of Soul Dew Lottie, which was really good into JCM's team, but we ended up doing dual screens.
That still
So
doesn't
what's
explain
the
the Scarf
Scarf Quill for?
Quillfish.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
just,
I
like,
don't
meant to,
know.
like,
I don't
debounce
know
something?
about the Scarf Quill. I mean, I was thinking about more of like a Custap Destiny Bond type Quillfish for the Bolt, but
Yeah, I kind of
I
get
don't
it.
know. Yeah. Scarf
Right,
Quill
it
is
worked
kinda-
out here anyways. Now U-turn on
Yeah.
the Darkrai. Gonna bring it very low. Now Cobalion comes in, goes for a Vacuum Wave, knocks it out. Cool stuff. Now Latias comes in, but just gonna Volt Switch on that. Into what? The Overquill? Yeah, Overquill. Should wall this set, because Healing Wish should be the last move. You can get up a T-Spike maybe a Spike. Yeah, a Spike goes up. Now Swords Dance Ogerpon. This guy is a massive threat, as there's
Yeah,
no
look at this
real
turn.
rock resist. Like
Things get
Ivy
crazy
plus
here.
low kick just kind of wins, right?
Yeah.
So Sword
sure.
Stance is up. Now +2
Until
Ivy
you see
Cudgel.
this. Does not kill. He gets the poison,
Yep, big.
and then it's Custap Destiny Bond.
Yeah, of course it is. Yep. So it was looking like Loki, the biggest threat to JCM's team, is now dead. Kind of a really impactful KO there. Now Lottie
This
comes
is
in,
an
goes for a
obvious
Healing
Healing
Wish.
Wish.
Yep, block the spin. Get Raging Bolt back to 100. And now you
But
can
it still has to
successfully
take-
spin block.
It still takes like a decent chunk though.
Yes, it does. But now Lando can pivot in, I guess. Because this is Spadef Treads, it should be slower. Oh, but it's faster. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's probably like AB. Is it? Wait. Oh yeah, I don't know.
And Scarf
It was
Quill
booster.
comes in.
Yeah, I thought the Lando was potentially AB like max.
Had a nice
but
It was
Rocks.
Rocks.
too.
It was Rocks Lando. Now Liquidation 2 it kills the Cobalion thanks to the Choice Scarf. Yup.
Yotes.
And it's just dead to T-Clap. But at this point, I think this Raging Bolt is looking pretty pretty good. Yeah, taunts the Healing Wish. That taunt, low-key, kind of saved the game. Because if that Healing Wish
It
goes
did.
out into Urshifu, I think Urshifu just wins the game, right? As long as it's faster than Lando, which, if your Spadef Treads was faster, surely your Urshifu's faster as well. It blocks the Healing Wish, and that's going to be the game, because Urshifu... Or is it the game? Because this is low-key...
Yeah, it's a 50-50 because we're Jet on this
Yeah,
set.
Jet versus Thunderclap mind games. And if you Surging Strikes on non-T-Clap, Landers goes down. So actually, it's not over. I wonder, do you have to get, like, multiple Aqua Jet turns right? Because Aqua Jet...
I think
Like 2 shots. It should
like
two
2 shots. Yeah,
So it's just
it
this
was
turn.
more in JCM's favor.
Does it?
To win these.
I don't think it
It's literally
does.
you're gonna see him do it. Yeah.
It's a
does.
roll. It's a roll. Because Urshifu's Terra Blast earlier was doing 36, 30... No, it's not even a roll. 35, 36, which is double the strength of Aqua Jet. So he would have needed to get 2 50-50s right of Aqua Jet into Thunderclap.
Or just the first.
Yeah, they
That's
go
actually smart.
Lando.
Goes for the Aqua Jet. So he wants to get the Intim off. He wants to get the Intim to weaken the Aqua Jet.
Oh, it's dudes.
Okay, so that's actually kind of smart because at -1 now you need to outplay like 3 Thunderclaps with Aqua Jet rather than 2, right? Or do you have to get 4 now? Loki, you might have to get 4 turns right.
Well, the last one doesn't matter, but yeah, 3 turns.
Yeah.
The last turn wouldn't matter, yeah. So it's 3 instead of 2.
Yeah. So that was a nice resource from JCM. Gets the first one right, and yeah, Lax is going to go down. JCM wins the game. Really nice taunt, and then gets the plays right at the end. That was a good game.
The para was crucial on Laddie. I feel like if we
100%.
didn't get paralyzed there, we probably could have
you were
had
definitely
an
cooked.
opportunity.
100% cooked.
He was scared of taunt Lando, so that's why he didn't bring the Laddie on Lando earlier.
Yeah. All right. And now we have Dougal versus PZZ. All right.
Oh my god, this shit.
Hydrapple bros.
Yep. Shout out to Hydrapple, and Yurdunk is in my chat just on time. Alright. So, key takeaways, right? This is Terra Flying Thunderous, which is looking to just brute force through the flying checks, being Rotom and Metagross. Obviously, not the bulkiest flying checks of all time, into like a Specs Thunderous. So, we'll see. And,
Water killed.
Yeah, Water Killed is interesting too, because the only water resist is Hydrapple and the Roaring Moon, both of which can kind of get smacked by a Secret Sword, so I kind of get that. Like I said, it's Terra Fairy on the Hydrapple, which means if you force the Terra, all of a sudden Roaring Moon's the only water resist, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, Terra Fairy, like we said, and then Terra Flying on the Metagross, which is interesting. That's just for the Iron Treads, I guess, or Earthquake Dragonite. And immediately turn 1, Terra Blast flying into the Rotom. Very clean to it KO. However, the light screen comes out, so not a to it KO. Gets the burn off, but still, this Thunders is going to be forcing a KO or Big Chip on the Metagross. Already has gotten Big Chip on the Rotom. I say Big Chip, 17%. Okay.
That's all best.
It's behind light screen, so it's hard for me to like mentally math that, but I feel like maybe it is.
34 regular, I think it is.
No, that's definitely AV,
yeah, it's AV. It's AV.
Yeah. Now rocks go up, so we U-turn. Now Meowscarada comes in, we just use our Rotom Sack there, relieve the pressure, but U-turn. Gonna give us
rocks chip on Meow.
Yeah, now Keldeo comes in. Hydrapple comes in on that, but now Mesprit can come in and potentially get rocks on this thing. Yeah, leftovers, Psychic Noise. So where's the rocks? Is it rocks treads? I would really expect rocks to go up here. Yeah, I guess it's rocks treads. As the treads does come out right now on the Fickle Beam. Now do we see rocks? We don't see rocks again. We see a Rapid Spin, and Earth Power is pretty likely on this thing. There's the rock. So it's just utility treads. And Hydrapple's at full HP plus 2 special attack. Thunders comes in. Does Terra Blast kill this from full?
No. I think this Hydrapple is Spadef. It had some investment in Spadef.
Yeah, so Volt Switch to put it into Terra Blast range. Mesprit has to go down here. Goes for a Pain Split, which is pretty nice. It's a lot more chip.
Yeah.
But now you just go for a Terra Blast, collect your KO. Kind of crazy that you have AV Metagross and you still are sacking to Thundurus immediately when it's at 83%.
Or maybe, I think PZZ was anticipating a Volt Switch there. So, yeah.
Looking rocks on Treads was game losing. Did you have Heavy Slam? I thought you couldn't fit Heavy Slam in this matchup.
Yeah, there's Rotom, there's a Lando, you want Ice Spinner.
You want Ice Spinner, Knock, you want EQ.
And yeah. Yeah, I was like, in the mocks,
should have went back to Mesprit. Maybe, I don't know. Regardless, Roaring Moon goes down to the Scarf Meowscarada U-turn. Now Thundurus, Big Thundurus is back in, and Metagross is looking like a gigantic threat. Could potentially even sweep this endgame with a Terra Blast after this Volt Switch on Metagross. Which, 44%.
44.
He can just electric move. Yeah.
There's Ice Punch here. Oh, is
Why
that
does
not
that kill?
multi-scale?
Why does that kill?
I think they were
Ew.
inner focus because of yeah, why was Dougal inner focus? I'm confused.
Hmm.
Let me see.
What is it? Inner focus just blocks flinch, or is it intim too?
Intimidate, flinch. What did
Quillfish?
you
have?
He had
Do
a
you have an
quillfish,
intimidator?
and it was hard to prevent
Maybe-
rocks. So I went inner focus. No, that's when you just go boots. Like,
So what was the item on D-Net?
Wow, the quillfish in the bench is putting in work already.
actually carrying the game from the bench. Oh my god. Oh, that's rough, man. It was banded.
Oh, it's banded.
I get the banded pick. Yeah.
Bench quillfish. I mean, bench quillfish.
Well, now Thunders comes in and crit bullet punch. I don't think matters at all because you're still in range of everything.
Maybe bad. Well, Miss Policy DD was not good here.
Wait. Tarap is not boots. Can it
Oh,
die
no,
to
it's
Terra
Scarf.
Blast here? Okay,
It's Scarf.
I'm trying to
Scarf.
give some suspense for the stream, man. Okay. Terra Blast gonna knock it out. and now it's just gonna win with Terra Starstorm.
Wait, actually, no. No, it didn't win. Look what PZZ does here.
Oh my god. So we just BMing in the Big 25. I don't really understand why we're doing this. Yeah, he
Google
wins.
made fun of his mother before the game. That's why.
Did he actually?
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just spreading misinformation on the internet. I get it, bro. I really get it. Okay, so the series so far is going to be what, 2-1 for in favor of Judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to game 4. It's gonna be Kyle versus Yurdunk.
L dunk.
Dunk is crazy. Yeah, where's the mouse hold? He benched mouse hold. What the H? Look, there's a Garchomp. I get it. But like, that's your signature mon, bruh. You gotta be bringing that. Right. In terms of Terra typings, Terra Water Urshifu. On Kyle's side, and on the other side is Terra Grass Hydrapple. And Terra... Is there another Terra on here? No, I don't think so. Alright, let's get in the game.
Yeah, it's just grass hydrapple.
Yeah. And immediately crit by U-turn. Love to see that.
Just hacks him.
Yep, goes for Leaf Storm. Is this the Jetpack? No, it's not. Now Glamora gets to come in, set T-Spikes.
Yeah, T-Spikes.
What is that purple guy's name? Glamora?
What he's
Oh,
thinking about Swalot.
Swalot.
It's a D's nuts joke. Come on, just say it. Just say it, Relic. I'm ready. Swalot is dick. Alright, so we're getting spikes up. Shout out. Yeah, we basically traded Swalot for Samurott, but like 3 spikes are up. That being said, Defog is very easy to get off here, so who cares?
Yeah.
Endure trying to get some more helmet off, which makes sense. You're gonna be rewarded with Life Orb chip, but yeah, goes for a Vacuum Wave just for the love of the game. Now Ticketon comes in. We're gonna go Iron Crown on this as a double to Mana Buzz comes out, and this is gonna be a free Defog. There we go. Spikes are gone. Now Glamora in.
I think we put
Gets the
rocks.
rocks, yeah. Now Hydrapple in on the Garchomp SD. This is going to die to Scale Shot. Goes to Valiant on the
Crazy
Outrage.
play.
Makes sense. Now Ice Punch is going to one-shot the Garchomp, which is likely going to be Roselli Berry. Because if you're not a Resist Berry, you're definitely loaded dice Scale Shot, right? So the fact that you're Outrage, guaranteed Roselli. So Ice Punch really heads up there. I was meant to say that. You gotta be quicker than that. Alright. Lamar is gonna go down. Comes in on a Psychic from Darkrai, Life Orb, so is gonna very cleanly 2-hit KO with Dark Pulse. Now, Gliscor comes in, goes for a U-turn, does not get the Toxcorp activated at all. But now, Valiant's in, Life Orb CC is gonna knock this out, no fighting resist to be seen. Urshifu comes in, is it Scarf here? U-turn makes me think it's Scarf. Terra Water.
Shifu.
And CC does 62?
The crit revealed it was banned, I think,
It was
earlier.
banded.
Turn 1. Yeah.
So Valiant was scared of like a Aqua Jet killing?
I think it died.
Yeah.
It
Minus
died,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely died.
Okay, sacking here is for sure wrong, right?
Yeah, I think.
Just
Yeah.
go Gliscor?
Just go Gliscor, yeah.
I think we went, because it was revealed to be banned turn 1, so I think Gliscor was the right play.
Yeah. Well, either way, you're going to get your CC kill, so it's not the end of the world, but
Yeah. It just straight up dies. Oh, wow.
yeah. Life Orb Val is pretty strong, I don't know if you're aware. Now
But you
Urshifu comes in
needed that
again.
to not lose to Jet.
Yeah.
And then
Now
I think
Jet
this
comes
was another
out.
misplay. We should have vacuum waved there, I think. You'll see.
Well, if you're sacking. Yeah.
Yeah, if we were sacking, I think we had the vacuum wave there. Ended up mattering. Because Gliscor lives, and
Oh, and your Scarf Gliscor. But I don't think Darkrai
more
dies.
Scarf.
And Darkrai had Sucker Punch. So
If it had Sucker, maybe.
it did. It did. I know it's
Okay. Oh, okay. If it did, then
Yeah.
that's probably game.
It was
GG.
So we were 3-2, right? 3-2.
2-2.
This is
2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
And now we have Jake versus II, two very old heads going at it in Sun and Moon. Now we have this team from Jake with a Mega Sceptile, which is honestly a pretty big threat into this team, whereas II has more so like the Zygarde Necro stuff that, you know, he's kind of made famous over the years. Mega Diancie as well, pretty strong offensive core. Going Gliscor was a losing play on CC, I needed to sack Crown. No, I think you could have gone Gliscor on CC. I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, and probably just like U-turn or something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe double to
Yeah,
Val.
you yeah.
Or do
Or you can go
something.
Hydrapple after, like. Well, no, yeah, you U-turn because you're faster.
Yeah.
The problem with U-turn is you can get pickpocketed, and then Darkrai becomes a pretty scary thing. But whatever. Let's look at this game now. Jake and I first played in 2025.
It wasn't pickpocket though. It was mold breaker.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Then either way, yeah. Just go Gliscor. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sceptile?
Hidden
Okay.
power.
Leads off into Thundurus, gets a free Swords Dance up, takes the HP Ice without Mega-ing, and then now +2 hit is going to one-shot the Thundurus. Psych, it's Focus Sash. So II gets the better of the leads, which is really, really nice. Now Mammo comes in, threatening Ice Shard. Probably just going to get Rocks up though, if I had to guess. Nope, just goes for the Ice Shard. Would have preferred Rocks there, but maybe the land was the rocker.
Yeah.
Now Earthquake on Shuka Cobalion. So all of II's techs are hitting right now in the early game. Sash being impactful, Shuka being impactful. Now you're getting Chip on Drapion, which is forced out by Cobalion. I'm not sure why Drapion was coming in there. But yeah, now into Feeny as Volt Switch into Tentacruel comes out, and Tentacruel Loki is a major offensive threat, which is a pretty rare sentence to be said, but it's true. Now Sub Diancie, gonna be denied by Poison Jab, but Jake gonna have to sack this Drapion. Such an amazing start for II. Really fantastic. Now Metagross comes in threatening Bullet Punch or, you know, just Meteor Mash. Sets up a light screen as Tentacruel comes in. Double to Cobalion on the Feeny. Okay, Rocks are gonna go up, but Cobalion's gonna take this Moonblast. Barely lives, so it's gonna get Volt Switch Chip on this Feeny. Into the Tentacruel. Gonna take nothing from Moonblast. Oh, Acid Spray. Pretty interesting stuff. Triggers the Iapapa with a crit and dodges Nature's Madness. That's a little bit unlucky. Now Mamoswine can come in. Gets the Aguav Fairy.
What the f...
It's gonna get not to it KO'd by Surf. Very low roll on the second one.
Oh.
And Spin is not gonna KO. Would but it's Shuka. Everything is hitting, but I think it's Ice Shard range anyways, yeah. But either way, rocks are well and truly denied.
Why didn't he shard there?
Yeah, why didn't
You don't want to get subbed on.
Well,
Sub is insta
Does that not do
GG.
25 to the Hansi? Shard?
Maybe it does. I don't know. It's not life orb or anything, but yeah, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. And then this is banded side guard.
Yeah.
Thought this was a smashing. Or was it?
I think you could call this a goobing for sure.
Yeah,
Now Thunders
Cobalion
comes
just had a
in.
really strong matchup into this team.
A lot of strong matchups. Like, Arrows Resist being Mega Sceptile, not great, especially when it goes down turn 2. Yeah. All things considered. Can Rock Polish Lando do it? Oh.
Yeah,
Goes to the
he was
double
hoping
dance.
for a roll.
It's
was
like
hoping to get a
hoping
low
for a
roll
roll
there.
into no E-speed on Banded Zygarde, which is like LOL. But I get it. He had to go for it at that point. Respect the effort. Yeah, now what's the series at? It's at, what, 3-2?
3-2.
Alliance, yeah.
3-2 for
Alright, so yeah,
Alliance. Oh, that's
This was
rough.
a very hard matchup for me. Like in
Oh, I
mocks,
know.
like it
I
was
know.
like I was so stressed mocking into Wake, like it was crazy.
Because you just click Hydra Steam and you kill everything. There's no like prediction.
Exactly.
So I thought this matchup was really unlosable from Sean going into it. And like by unlosable I really mean that.
It kind of was until he
Yeah, I had
Decided
to
to
really
pro.
focus on prep like
He's
pretty
like,
hard
I
this
had
week.
to lock
last
in.
week.
It's just some protagonist type shit. Alright, so Terra Water, Walking Wake to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Terra Ground is on the Lilligant, I believe.
Yeah, ground Lilligant, water Wake, and then flying Keldeo, and what was the Mesprit?
Very on the Mesprit.
Yeah, Fairy for Tusk, right? And Wake immunity.
Yes. You say that, he's clicking Hydro Steam, bruh. Alright, let's get into the game. Cinderace lead into Mesprit. We're going to see immediately a taunt with Libero, which actually is a pretty smart play because you cover Psychic, you cover Rocks, you cover a lot of things.
Yeah.
Covers
For
T-Wave
sure.
as well. Pretty nice. So you've denied T-Wave, you're going to U-turn into what? Probably Tinkaton? On the U-turn?
Tank. And it's eject, I think. Yeah, it was
So you
eject.
button into Walking Wake. Goes for the Terra Water. Just for fun.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't want to be weak to Gouging Fire on your pivot in, so I get that. Now, Tinkaton in on the Meowscarada. Is it Pickpocket? It is Pickpocket. So if this Meowscarada clicks like U-turn or anything, it's going to get pickpocketed. But T-Spike does go up, which is honestly pretty impactful.
Very impactful.
Yeah. Now, Tusk comes in, it's not Boots, which is pretty important here. As Treads comes in, booster speed. Now goes for a sub, expecting like something predicting the Dusknoir. And then now goes Dusknoir on the spin turn. No, actually, on the Earthquake
Helmet.
turn.
Yeah, then it's helmet, like as I expected.
Knocks off the Cuss Tap, but Trick Room comes out, which is super interesting. Now you're threatening what, like a Pain Split?
Or Destiny Bomb, yeah.
Yeah, Pain Split comes out. And we still died to the
then-
Earthquake, unfortunately. Now, can you prevent a spin from this position? It's going to be Keldeo Vacuum Wave, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Now Tinkaton comes
And I
in.
had to make a play here. This turn, I had to make a play right here.
Yeah.
He could double Tusk and try to spin, trying to catch my treads on the tank, but I just decided to just stay in and go for my chances because I kind of have to play this game aggressively. I can't afford to just play obvious,
Yeah.
into this matchup.
And I think he low-key had to double Tusk here, because what else do you spin on? Nothing. They're all faster. So Trick Room being up is the only time he can spin. He goes for the play,
Yeah.
and you get that correct. So nice read. Now Tinkaton is in again. This time Treads comes in, because there's no threat of spin. Lilligant comes in,
and
is
then
not
he keeps
Boots.
free.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I just sub because I'm faster and like I
Oh, you
wanted
get
to
the
see
minus
what
one.
it was. Yeah.
Is he Jetpack
That was
though?
good.
Okay, cool.
Then I go gouge. He could have U-turned there into wake, honestly. He had to make a play
he
there, I
could've.
feel.
Now we're gonna taunt
Just
preventing DD, but you're not gonna DD in front of a Tauntmon. It's already been revealed.
Yeah.
Now Ninetales is gonna come in and get sacked off, basically.
Yeah.
Give the Gouging Fire Protosynthesis. And that's like Fizz Def Ninetales, like 54? That's nothing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna get to it KO'd. Because it's Fizz Def, it's slower. But now you have 6 Sun Turns to work with, and Walking Wake, he could be able to do it. Oh, but Endure Gouging Fire.
Yeah.
Goes for the Dragon Pulse for some reason over like Hydra's team, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it's cool. Has to sack the Cinderace, but now the Sun Turns are getting very low. And we don't go Wake?
And they don't go wake. I'm not sure why, but it was just probably because Keldeo resist. Yeah, Sleep Powder miss. Yeah, it did not matter. I was Chesto Berry on the Keldeo, Resto Chesto.
Okay.
So, yeah, it didn't matter there.
But does Wake not just win now? Because you Terra.
I should have Calm-Minded, though. I think I should have Calm-Minded instead of just Air Slashing. I think Calm-Mind into Vacuum Wave was the correct play there.
If it does 48, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm bulky on this Keld, so I could have lived the Steam at +1. Because they're not like booster special attack or anything, so I think I should have CM'd there. So the game got a bit harder. Yeah.
Now Meowscarf has to come in. Is it Scarf?
Yep.
And you can't U-turn here. You have to Flower Trick. Because otherwise, if it gets pickpocketed, you lose. And now doubles to Wake, expecting the Iron Treads. It's a 50-50, folks. But
I don't miss no 50-50s, man.
Yeah. Just completely aura gapped, and that's going to be the game.
Yep.
Because now Tinkaton can't beat the Treads in the back. Booyah. And that was well played from you.
Yep. Thank you. Now it's tied series, I think. 3-3?
Yep, tied series.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a 50-50 for agency. Tink couldn't kill, right? If you T-Wave it, the game's over. You T-Wave Meow, game ends right there. So, like, there's definitely ways that it could go wrong.
If it was T-Wave, though, let's think about it. If it was T-Wave, then that means it's not like Encore. So I guess I just sack the Meow to the Tink and spin with Treads, right?
Yeah,
and
you
then,
would.
Yeah, so I think Sean needed like T-Wave plus Encore to win that, and they revealed Play Rough, so.
But would Treads KO the Wake at 56?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean,
I think it might not. I don't
maybe
know.
It was
it's not important. We'll never know. We can move on to VGC, which is, I know, what everyone is here for. Kappa. Alright, we got Code versus 5 Big Booms, which is Gepika. Gepika?
Yeah.
However you pronounce that, I don't know. It's their bench VGC player. Let's get into it. D-Knight, Ogerpon lead into Scream plus Dondozo. Interesting. The Ogerpon Dragonite lead makes me... Okay, this like reminds me of Owen's team from SPL, where he had Ogerpon, Dragonite, Qianpao. And I like kind of helped him prep, kind of just watched replays and told him he was bad. But yeah. Gonna switch to Heatran. Why is Heatran coming in here?
On the Terrifier
Whoa.
rocks.
Okay, that turn was a little bit above my pay grade, I'm not gonna lie. Let's move on to turn 2. Scizor comes in as the Heatran's forced out based on Yawn. Really nice switch here. Heavy slams. You assume Tatsu's in the back. And yeah, U-turn, knocks it out, and you have to assume Tatsu's coming in. No, Screamtail's coming in.
So yeah, and D-Knight comes in. Play rough. -1. This drop actually mattered throughout the series because it gave us a lot of information on the Dondozo. So, because yeah, it's best out of 3. So
Okay.
What's Tendozo's ability here?
Unaware.
unaware. Yeah, it's definitely unaware.
Gets 5 hits, so knocks out the dozo.
Wait, so why would the drop give you intel if it's unaware anyway?
I don't know.
Well, it could have been. I guess it could have been the other ability. What's Tendozo's other ability?
Oblivious, I can't
Oblivious.
be taunted or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that howl is kind of cool though. Howl Screamtail. And it's actually no
Gepika
Tatsu
is
here.
pronounced like Jessica.
Wait, why do we howl again? We flinched. What? Why did that work?
Yeah.
I hate
was
that
crazy.
worked. I hate that worked.
Jessica,
Sacred Sword, player of the Heatran, yeah.
Gepika, Jessica.
Yawns, but like this is a full support Blastoise. It's not winning this.
Dude, I can't say this whenever.
Yeah. And Gepika has won game 1. That guy needs to find a better name. Like that's so hard to pronounce. What?
Jessica.
That is
He
not.
said it's like Jessica.
That is not what's on my
Pronounced
screen.
like Jessica. How do you even say
That is
that?
not on my screen. Okay, let me type it into the chat so people know what I'm talking about.
Google typed it literally in the.
He did.
chat.
My bad.
Gep.
I guess that's Jessica. I get. Yeah, shout out.
I don't know.
All right, this time we're in a Screamtail mirror. Yep.
So bug heat
Yes.
charms, rocks.
Yeah, unaware does ignore opponent drops and raises. It just ignores both. Alright, Terrabug Heatran is going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, expecting like what? Or no, it's Encord, okay. A lot,
Yeah, I think it's
a lot of
choice band
bullshit.
Scizor. I think it's banded Scizor.
It looks like it because we're clicking close combat into 2 resists.
Or disable.
What a turn. That was awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
This is funny because the Screamtail is trapped in and it's Encore disabled, so it has to struggle. Misses a Magma on the Dondozo. Now Qianpao in, so no Tatsugiri at all.
Misty Terrain. It's not the young.
That's kind of raw, not gonna lie.
That was pretty cool.
Protect Sucker is Encored now.
Heavy
Wait,
slime.
we swapped to Qian. Oh, because you can't wisp the Qian because of Misty Terrain, so you have nothing to do as Heatran. That's funny.
Well, it also just dodges Sucker by switching too.
Yeah. Okay, Sash Qianpao. You just player of Qianpao, right? Yeah. Okay, but why forfeit?
Yeah.
You can miss play ref. Whatever, man. Game 3. Wow. Let's see. Heatran, Ogerpon lead, Scizor, and Dondozo. Oh, we've seen this Dondozo Terra twice already. You have to expect it's gonna happen again. And we taunt it, so we know it's unaware. Magma and lands a little bit to the left. I mean, it's Magma, right? You hit a lot last
but
game.
We revealed to be zoom lens like after the game. We were actually zoom lens.
That actually
on.
doesn't matter in my head. Like 77 is the same as 70. Like, let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Like imagine lefties here. Lefties would go so hard.
Wait, I thought wide lens was the one that increased accuracy.
Oh yeah, I think it's the one. Yeah, it's the one that increases accuracy. Yeah.
Wide
Yeah.
lens, yeah.
Wide
Isn't
lens.
one of them like it increases more but only works if you're moving second? Something like that? It's something
I
stupid.
don't freaking know.
Yeah.
I think zoom is like a certain type of attack or something.
That's for sure wrong, but like I don't know if I'm right either. So
Oh no, zoom is 1.2 if it moves after the target. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so smart.
Yeah, it was zoom lens. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
You slam the chin.
We bullet punch Heatran? I mean, your Dondo's getting Encore disabled. So now it's Sizzler versus Dragonite 1v1, but it's burned.
Yeah.
Fire Punch knocks it out, and Dondozo has to struggle. I think Dragonite has this, right?
Yeah.
Scale Shot, you don't care about the defense drop because it's unaware. And its next struggle is going to put it in Scale Shot range or E-Speed or anything, really. Maybe not E-Speed range. Dondozo's really thick. Yeah, just Scale Shot. Do we hit a Scale Shot for the game? Hits a double protect. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, stall it out more.
Why would you do that? You're still in range, right? Like, why wouldn't you just go for the miss?
I don't know. Maybe in his mind, banking on no loaded dice is more likely than missing Scale Shot. But like, come on, man, get real.
Yeah.
And now
You get one big boom for that one.
this is, you've got kind of a comeback in the series. This is now 4-3 for Judgment Day. Series deciding game, Rye versus Jimmy G. If Rye wins, they win the week. If Jimmy wins, it's a tie. Right. Let's get into it. Uxie leads off into Gallade. Wow, great lead for Jimmy. Except it gets taunted immediately. So, great lead from Rye. What can I say? Knocks into the Culverberry. U-turn reveals very defensive Gallade. That is like max defense. For sure. And now Ice Punch is 17. Yeah. Taunts again, trying to prevent rocks, but now Foul Play's coming out, does 31, so even more confirmation it's max defense, no attack. Like, sure, it'll 1v1 Uxie, but like this type of Gallade is just bad versus everything else. So this is one of those cases where like, sure, you beat the guy that's supposed to beat you, but you don't beat the things you're supposed to beat. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever, man. We see Sylveon come in. It's Assault Vest Sylveon because it took 40 from Life Orb T-Bolt. And it's just going to trade HP with the Vile Plume. I mean, fair enough, right? Now, Gallade comes in. Has to dodge Effect Spore, but yeah, does manage to do so. Thunders comes in, knocks it out with a Life Orb T-Bolt. And now what? Hydreigon comes in. Is Scarf Draco Meteor going to knock it out? But now...
I'm surprised why they stayed in. Honestly.
Yeah, why did we not scout? Fuck.
I don't know why they didn't scout.
I don't know, man. I guess the theory is, like, with Hydreigon, Piloswine, and, like, a Speed type, essentially, it's not the most useful mon in the entire world, so if it's not Scarf, you'll get a big hit off, and if it is Scarf, you get information, and you get rocks up afterwards. That being said, Wapid Spin.
Yeah.
But, like, I get the thinking of staying in. We're just gonna spam rocks here, I guess?
Yeah, to make sure they stay up.
Oh, and Rocky Helmet gonna self KO. Blocks a potential spin. Now Bisharp comes in. Do we get a Scald Burn? Okay,
No
Swords
burn.
Dance is up. Can just Sucker here for free. I mean, doesn't Sucker. But okay, Rock Polish. So it's Double Dance, Dual Stab, it looks like. So it gets the speed boost at least, but Hydreigon should eat one. And we actually sack our guard shot. It's not a sack. Flamethrower. Doubles.
Crazy
What
play
is
that round.
Oh my god.
Yo,
The Garchomp was in versus a locked flamethrower.
Yeah.
season saved.
Season saved.
Wow.
Stays in, sacks it. That was crazy, yeah. Now Piloswine comes in on the next Swords Dance. Okay, Swords Dancing twice is insane, no?
Yeah, that's just greed. That's just greed.
It's Yashi, so now I guess you one-shot Piloswine instead of two-shot it with +2. Is that fair enough?
Now it's in Dark Pulse range, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bisharp lives Dark Pulse very easily.
Yo, imagine we had the Scizor.
Yeah,
I think
there's
if you
no
Swords
Violet
Dance here... If you Swords Dance here, it becomes a 50-50, no?
You polish first. If you're faster
No,
than
no, no.
Scarf.
No.
Yes.
I don't think you polish first, because polish loses to hard thunderous. Because if you polish first, hard thunderous, they just T-wave, right?
No, shut their sucker punch though. If they're rock polish, that's only if they're sucker.
Is it going to be Swords Dance, Rock Polish, Sucker Punch? Let me know. No.
Yeah.
So I think you have to SD here. He rock polishes. No, you can't do that. Because now what happens is you always go Thunderous. If it attacks, then Hydreigon comes in and lives. And if it Swords Dances, Thunderous comes in and T-Waves. It has to be Lumberry for this to make sense.
And it's
Most likely was. It was most likely Lum.
Wait.
Because it stayed in on a blast.
It's still slower.
It's still slower. Rye misplays this and he gets rewarded because the Bisharp set is bad. No. Okay, it was Lum. Okay, at least that makes a little bit more sense, but
you gotta be faster than Scarf Hydreigon then.
We're slower than Scarf Hydreigon. No. Oh my god. Well, either way, that's gonna be the series, and Judgment comes out with a win.
Yeah, and the Sack Scizor too is kind of crazy. Like
that was wild.
The Darkstream came in on Flamethrower, and then we went to Scizor, and they just Flamethrower it again.
Yeah.
But
we're trying to get Scizor into SD on Piloswine for sure. Like that's what's intended.
But you have a free click with a freaking guard jump.
You could do that. Yeah, it's not like you can't switch it on Piloswine. Like you could just Dragon Claw.
That's weird.
But Ryo's creeping Uxie with Hydra. So it's not even max speed Hydreigon, and we're still slower with our Rock Polish. Yeah, okay. Just put the fries in the bag, man.
That's it.
Alright guys, if you are enjoying the games, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Gotta be a good streamer and say that. It does help out the engagement for like the VOD performance, right? Because these do tend to do pretty well on like the VODs. So I'd appreciate if you guys just like the stream. Help me out a little bit there. And we can get into the last series, which is going to be ZFG versus the Ancient Tacticians. Gonna be pretty epic. Can you dislike the stream? Go ahead, K-Crick. I cannot stop you. Do your worst. Alright. So Iron Boulders is going to be Toxic or Hisui Avalug. He goes by a bunch of different names. And C, having a fantastic start. Definitely looking like the steal of the auction, right? C went for what? 4K? Something like that? And has gotten like undefeated up until this point. So 3-0, but also Toxic is 3-0 going into this game as well. So undefeated versus undefeated should be a pretty strong matchup here. Now Scrafty leads off into the Landorus. What is this Scrafty going to do? Ice Punch immediately, as this is just going to be Rocks Landorus. Okay. Now Whimsicott comes in, but a switch to Lando. Okay, doesn't want to take an Earth Power on the Scrafty. Makes sense. Whimsicott going to be forced out here as Rocks go up. Weavile takes it as a free entry point, but now Scrafty can just come in. But it's a Focus Punch banded Weavile into physically defensive Scrafty. So,
which is crazy because they could have pivoted Sylveon, right? On Weavile.
I mean, Scrafty is much more likely to come in, so I think the Focus Punch makes a lot of sense. And obviously it hit its mark here. Scrafty is low, but now you're forced out into the Whimsicott. We see a Fire Punch, which is going to get a burn, which I'm not sure how impactful that is, to be honest. I don't think it is very. A Rocky Helmet is going to mean that Scrafty is remaining very low. We see a U-turn into the Landorus, aimed at chipping down the Sylveon. We see Leftovers and Protect. Probably just going to see, okay, an Iron Tail. Interesting enough. Lando's going to come in on that. Obviously avoided 2-hit KO after Intimidate. But still, this chip is pretty nice for the Scizor, right? Chipping the Lando.
Yeah,
so Lando's trade HP. Now Weavile gets a free entry point. At this point, Icicle Crash is somewhat free. I don't think you ever really risk Jellicent there. Now Sylveon comes in, locked into Icicle Crash. Can just go for a Mystical Fire, right? Because it covers the Weavile staying in, as well as Scizor or Magnezone or Whimsicott. Basically anything coming in. So Mystical Fire really nice. Now Sylveon forces out Magnezone, which is awesome. Whimsicott in. We see Latios pivot in on Whimsicott on a Memento. Okay, fair enough. Now, Scizor comes in aiming to Sword Stance on this Latios. We see Sword Stance on Reflect. That Reflect is going to go a long way. But, yeah, obviously going to die to knock off through that. And it's actually Life Orb Scizor, so knocks itself out, unfortunately. And now it looks like C basically has this in the bag. The only hope for Toxic is maybe Weavile flinches. But with Reflect up, it's looking very challenging. We see Sylveon come in, and this is the freest Jellicent ever, right? Yeah, Water Absorb.
Yeah.
Now, Urshifu reveals not to be choiced, just goes for a U-turn into Magnezone on a Will-O-Wisp. But now we can probably just sack Scrafty if I had to guess. Yeah, Scrafty does go down to anything, really. A Volt Switch, sure. Now, Urshifu comes in once more. But again, Jellicent comes in, and now you can kind of just click Hex, yeah. Oh, but that does nothing. So now it's actually an interesting turn because you can go for a Wisp on the Urshifu, or you can go for a Hex on the U-turn to Magnezone. Or you can just like recover here, but we see a U-turn to Magnezone. Did C pull the trigger on Hex? She did, and Magnezone goes down. And now we're with Reflect still up. This Jellicent reveals Culver Berry. That Banded knockoff does 26%, and the Weavile is burned now. We see a double to Urshifu trying to catch like a switch to Sylveon or something. But no such luck. A Recover just comes out, and now Will-O-Wisp is completely free. Hits the Will-O-Wisp, and that's going to be the game. Because now Weavile obviously can't KO Sylveon, and that's going to be the game. Well played from C. Catching that Magnezone with Hex was really impactful, because Magnezone would have forced a KO otherwise. So, really nice plays. And C goes on to be 4-0 going into week 5. Alright.
Crazy.
Now we have Mayo versus Blitz. This is a matchup I thought was really heavily favored for Blitz, I'm not going to lie. If you look at it, like Gardevoir, pretty strong. There's a Jirachi, but Will-O-Wisp covers that. Shadow Ball covers that. There's a lot of options. And you have Pursuit from Weavile as like a threat to Jirachi. So, not the easiest thing of all time. You also have Skarm, Rotom. Jirachi's not doing anything in the meantime. Yeah. But anyways, let's get into the game. Blitz leads off with a Rotom Wash into the Torn-T. Great lead. But U-turn does so much damage. That's a Life Orb Torn. Okay, makes sense. Now, Volt Switch on Lando. Now, Rotom Wash is really valuable here. The HP, super important, but also, what are you supposed to switch in on this Lando? So Rotom kind of has to just stay in and take the hit.
Espeon.
Just kidding. Focus Blast lands a little bit to the right, and now HP Ice is going to do 94%, which is kind of interesting because Hydro Pump would have just killed this, but HP Ice doesn't miss, I guess. Now, Focus
like,
Blast
why don't you
again.
go Espeon there? Like, they're clearly focus blasting.
There, I think Espeon was correct for sure. But instead we take Chip on our Rotom, which now we need to find some way to Pain Split up. And Torn can come in, and Rotom is the Torn check, which now dies to knockoff. So Skarm has to come in, loses its helmet. We double back to Rotom on Heat Wave, which is for sure wrong. We need to find a Pain Split opportunity, but instead we're sacking Rotom, which is like, that's your guy that won. I don't know, man. Sableye comes in, at least allowing for a free Gardevoir. Now, Snorlax is going to come in, but Hyper Voice, I mean, Snorlax has good spit up, but 40 is a lot. Stays into Hyper Voice again. Again, we have a Skarm, we have a Donphan. We don't have to take this trade as Gardevoir, but we're going to get punished for it. Body Slam Para. And now allows the Snorlax to rest. Now we go Skarm. And Body Slam comes out. Do we see a Para? No, we do not. Now here you can get up a layer, but instead we Roost, because the Sableye isn't Mega Evolved yet. Like, if you had Rocks, you would go for it there. So this Roost, I mean, it makes me think that this Skarm is going to be like some sort of SD set. Now Gardevoir comes in, mostly as a sack, but Torn just doesn't want to take the sack. Goes for a U-turn instead. Into Jirachi, probably just going to see a free U-turn as we go Espeon for some reason instead of the Skarm. Like, a lot of questionable plays so far from Blitz's side. Gardevoir going to be the sack once again to the Torn. This time actually does go down. Now we go Espeon as the response to Sableye, which is questionable. But also, what else he's supposed to do at this point? Rocky Helmet dazzles him, at least trades HP into Donphan range, hopefully. Yep, Donphan range. Right now, Azu comes in, but we have Skarm to come in on this. Waterfall only does 31%. And here we're doubling to Donphan, catching the Torn. We see a knockoff on Soft Sand. Yo, losing Torn to Stone Edge? Kind of rough. But instead, Rocks comes out. Finally gets the Rocks up. But now you're in range of like Hurricane or anything, so you have to hope it's not Hurricane, or that Mayo just doesn't risk it, or misses, I guess. We see a Heat Wave, not going to KO, but burns the Donphan on a Stone Edge turn? On a Stone Edge turn, so Torn would have died here. And then you have 3 Pokemon walled by Skarmory. So Mayo throws the game after Blitz has made several questionable decisions, but gets bailed out by a burn. Oh my god. Dude.
Big Clover.
Now U-turns to avoid like a pursuit trap from Weavile. Now JRicky comes in, we go Weavile out of respect, and just sack it to Scarf JRicky. Love that. Now Skarm comes in. Azu's going to be the switch in, but like at this point, you just need to find a way to get your Torn in for free, and then Heat Wave should end the game, right? And we don't even have to get that point because JRicky Fire Punch does enough. Alright, man. Alright. Probably thought it was Rocks JRicky. I mean, maybe, yeah. Mayo's going to take this one, and that means that... Okay, ZFG is up 2-0 now. And now we have Man on the Lakers versus Shadow Blast. Who is this?
Nim.
It's Nim. Okay.
It's Nim XD.
Alright, man.
LeBron.
Is this guy stupid how his Skarm mono beating a JRicky and BD Azu? Maybe. Look, it's all good. Another Skarm Gardevoir team, but this time is in Sun and Moon. I know it looks like ORAS teams. Like low-key, these teams would both fit on an ORAS like kind of vibe, but now this is Sun and Moon. We see a Mega Venu, a Mega Gardevoir. Awesome. Let's get into it. Gardevoir leads off into the Rotom Wash. Just going to be a free Hyper Voice here, or a Will-O-Wisp predicting a Metagross. Does go for the Will-O-Wisp, but instead the Rotom stays in and goes for Volt Switch, so K-Crick calls that correctly. Top team is out of 2016. It actually is. Like, yeah. Now Zygarde comes in on a Will-O-Wisp. Really important catch from K-Crick there. Now Zygarde's very neutered, but it has Facade. Shout out. It's very funny. Now Skarm comes in on Rocks. Probably gonna see Rocks trade. Maybe a Spike goes up, but probably just Rocks, yeah. Infernape comes in, but yeah. We have a Zygarde. It's already burned. Can't get more burned. May as well just go to it. Takes 23, but now it's gonna be another Facade coming out. And at least Facade is doing reasonable chip. Like with Rocks up, Lando's taking a lot, but in fact he doubles to Skarm. Catches the Lando, and if you're Spikes, you can start getting double hazards going. And we're toxic. Noob toxic. Into the burned Rotom, and now Rotom can just go for a Volt Switch, but Skarm looks like it's Spadef, does just stay in, but okay, it does have Spikes, so why didn't we Spike earlier? Stupid. Infernape comes in, threatening an Overheat, does go for it, misses the Zygarde, but it's still taking Rocks and Burn, so you're still happy with that trade. Lando comes in on the next Facade, I assume. No, a double to Gardevoir, so really nice play. Gets Gardevoir in position, and now Metagross comes in, but it's stepping on Spikes and Rocks. Even taking this Hyper Voice is not going to be enjoying this. A lot of damage. Skarm comes in. No Rocky Helmet is leftovers, but is able to take this Metagross hit. I mean, 18, you're just going to be able to heal on this. That being said, we've revealed all 4 moves. It doesn't have an attacking move, so Metagross technically walls this. But in the meantime, it would be getting max layers up. Yo, how did that work? Okay, so he's basically saying Rotom covers not only the Metagross Meteor Mash, but also a switch to Rotom Wash. I don't know, just kind of a raw play, I'm not gonna lie. But then Volt switches, just squanders the opportunity to Leaf Storm the Rotom. Goes into Zygarde on what I expect as a Volt Switch, but no, it's a Defog. You could have blocked the Defog with a Leaf Storm. Ah! And now all the progress is gone.
I don't really get that.
So now we're going to have to make some more plays to get hazards up with our Skarm. Another Facade comes out, but Biggie Berry, Lando remains healthy and probably just going to get rocks up. Skarm can at least match that, but no. U-turn. I mean, sure, Infernape gets in. Free overheat. A Zygarde comes in. And another missed overheat. No. And now we double to Gardevoir. That's not going to work out as Earthquake is clicked. I'm just going to attack the Zygarde as we were intending to in the first place. Flare Blitz to not miss. Now Gren comes in. Venu, full HP, going to be a pretty comfortable check to this thing. Gets the Mega off, and Surf plus U-turn combines for a net 26. Not super impactful, but Power Whip, okay. This is Spidef Skarm, so HP Fire, not going to be too impactful, but Sleep Powder is. Puts the Skarm to bed. Does it wake up immediately, get some hazards up? We're going to get an Infernape switch in here. And rocks do go up immediately. Alright, but something's dying to this overheat. Actually, no. Gren can come in because it's revealed 4 moves, and none of them are fighting moves. So it's actually walled by Gren, funny enough. And now Gren with rocks up. Venu's at 74. All of a sudden, Dark Pulse looking pretty free. Now Metagross comes in. Is this Scarf Metagross? No, right? Because it took 29 from Gardevoir? It was just AV and Lives, maybe? I'm confused about this. Why did that work? What? It is Scarf? Okay. So it's just a bulky Gardevoir, not offensive. That's why I did so little to Metagross. Because I was thinking that was max special attack Gardevoir versus Metagross, and 29 would be low. So it's probably max HP. But yeah, if it's Scarf, okay. And actually the switch order confirms that, right? Yeah, Metagross switches before the Gren. So Infernape comes in, which is kind of raw. And now just goes for the Z-Fire, which is going to knock out Skarm. Would have knocked out the Gren if it wanted to pivot in. But now Gren comes in. And Dark Pulse should be a KO, because I don't think Infernape wants to stay in there. Dark Pulse is 24, and now the Z-Dark is going to knock out the Venusaur. Shout out to Sun and Moon. This is why Venusaur is not good in this gen. It just gets Z'd all the time. Now Metagross comes in, doubles to Infernape, catching the Rotom again. Yeah, really nice play. Shadow Blast making plays to put himself still in the game, but Flare Blitz, he does still have one-time pivot of Gren available. And now Surf and Torrent, just going to pick up some KOs, right? Lando's going to go down. And now what, Metagross comes in. Do we call the Rotom once again, doubling into Infernape? We do. Does it work out? It does. So rewarded with another KO from Infernape. And it's just going to be Flare Blitz. I would have expected Overheat there, because you had one more switch in on rocks. But Flare Blitz, okay, guaranteed KO, and then we just time out. To be fair, this game was completely over. Right? Jirachi, I think, just wins the game when it comes in. Don't think it mattered. Gren pick afterwards. Yeah, like Gren comes in on Zam. Pretty sure lost to Shuriken, but it might not be Shuriken, right? Surf, U-turn, Dark Pulse. What else would it be? Would it be Shuriken? It probably would be Shuriken, probably, to guard against, like, SD, Mach Punch, and Infernape and stuff like that. So yeah, you were probably cooked anyways. But yeah. So now it's, what, 2-1? Still for ZFG, but starting to fight back. And now VGC, so awesome. Overheat, miss early, lost a ton of momentum, for sure, yeah. Infernape should have gotten, like, one extra kill. They said it was Shuriken if you believe them. I probably believe that. Seems reasonable enough. Let's get into VGC. Alright, Smeargle Lando lead into D-Knight Heatran. Alright. Immediate Terra Rock Landorus. Boosted Rock Slides. Okay, that does a lot to the Dragonite, but not quite enough. And Smeargle gets a speed boost. Not gonna matter because it's Follow Me. But Heat Wave is gonna miss the Smeargle, which means the Dragon Claw's not gonna KO. Earth Power is gonna KO the Tran. You're watching game 2? Whatever, man. If they post in the wrong order, that's on them, man. I click it in order. Alright. E-Speed, Sacred Sword, whatever, man. Sacred Sword knocks this out. Last turn of Tailwind, Dragon Claw does a lot. Bleak Wind, gonna connect, but okay, Arch, Torn into a Moon. Terra's Ghost. Are we tearing Ghost to block the Body Press? But instead, Electroshock comes out, which is gonna do 43. That's Assault Vest Chen Pow, folks. Which doesn't 2-hit KO Archaludon. Like, that's crazy, dude. How can you not 2-hit KO Arch? Now we're gonna lose that? We actually lose that end game, which is crazy. Yeah. And here's game 1, I guess. Shout out VGC. I don't really care, man. Alright, Tailwind, Iron Defense, so IDEF Body Press. Doubles into the Torn with Spore and Dragon Claw, so yeah. But Habanberry gonna be useful here, but how are we killing this Archaludon once it's already +2? It's Safety Goggles, so block Spore. Heatran comes in, okay. Heatran can do some big damage to Arch, but Terra is available. What Terra is this Archaludon? It's Terra Ghost, of course it is. And we just one-shot the Tran. And Ruination, okay, but like, you're not killing this Arch. Like, I know that's a Chien Pao, but like, you are not killing it. Dodges the Ruination. That did not matter, bro. Game's a wrap. Amoonguss and he's just cooked, yeah. Alright. And we already saw game 2. Hopeless just wins this one. He's the GOAT. Whatever, man. And now what's the score? We have 3-2, I think it is, for boxes. Right? Because that was the second win for Tacticians. Then we had Mayo, C. Is that? Who else did we watch win? We didn't yet. Okay, yeah, so this is 2-2 now. I've done math. Yes, 2-2. C, Mayo, Nim, Hopeless, yeah. Alright, now we have Mind Gaming up against Impulse on the other side. And this is a Salazzle. Yes, it is. Honestly, this Mind Gaming team might be one of my favorites in the whole tournament. It just looks so solid every week. The D-Knight, the Torrenting Lu, and then Hearthflame as well. I really like Hearthflame on this team with double removal, Cyclizar, Corviknight. I think if you're looking for a Hearthflame structure, this is just about perfect, right? But anyways, other side we see like a Zarude Dio kind of thing. You was hating on my Torn T-Squad, little bro. Don't glaze now. I mean, I've seen it in action. Am I allowed to update my opinion? It's cool, man. Charles makes the team go to a 10. Yep, Charles, the GOAT. Alright, Terra types here. We have Terra Electric Torn, which is pretty standard into Zapdos. And Terra Normal on the Cyclizar, whereas on the other side we see Terra Ghost on the Zarude. And I forget if this is Terra Salazzle or Cyclizar. Regardless, they're stab Terras. You expect Zarude to Terra anyways. Torn leads off into Deoxys Sphincto. And we're just going to see an immediate Terra Electric, Terra Blast. Catches the Aloe on the switch, is Citrus Berry, but not in range to live the next one. Goes for a knockoff on Charles coming in. Really nice plays from Mind Gaming to open up the team. U-turn chip, not going to end up mattering. As we go, Zapdos on a Terra Electric Mon, which is definitely interesting. Because this Torrent doesn't fear anything. Could just stay in and go for a knock. And all this is regenable. Charles comes in. Now it's threatening a KO. So we just go Corviknight on U-turn. Rocky Helmet. Good chip. Now Salazzle in, but there's a whole ass Ting-Lu. Sure, Toxic can come out, but this could very well be Rest. And in the meantime, we're getting our hazards up. Yeah, Rocks go up as Charles Cyclizar comes in. Now I'm guessing we just go Corviknight. No, we stay in on the spin turn to get a really big payback off. And now, I think you could just Rocks again. Now we go for a Rest. Okay, fair enough. As Zarude comes in. Now, Ogerpon Heartflame can be a pretty safe switch-in to this thing, as Swords Dance comes out, but can I just go for an Ivy Cudgel, 61%. Usually when Ogerpon's coming in on Zarude, you'd expect it to be either Encore or Charm. However, I'm pretty sure this Zarude is going to be Mental Herb, which is maybe why we're not Encore. Okay, we go for Trailblaze, which is weird. Goes for a Synthesis because Ivy does less than half, but Ogerpon matches the Trailblaze. Goes for another Cudgel, is 45 as another Trailblaze comes out. And now what? Impulse just goes for a Synthesis. I don't think this Ogerpon... Is this in range? Is it Knock Trailblaze? Does Knock KO from 73? Surely it does, right? But now... Ogerpon reveals to be faster. Okay, no, it's +2 versus +2. And then now it's faster. Yo. Shout out Impulse, man. Now Salazzle comes in, but that's just free Ting-Lu every single day of the week. And is this Rest Talk? Rest Talk Rocks Payback would be a wild set, but it is Rest Talk. Gets the rocks up. Very epic, and you can just Sleep Talk again. No reason not to. Oh my god, stream is still going. It's only been 3 hours, man. This has been going pretty quick compared to other stuff. Is this the last series? Yes, it is. And now Ting-Lu just gonna get rocks up. And like, what is Aloe doing? You can go to one of your regen mons on every flip turn. It don't matter. Okay, Wish in the air, flip turn into Charles. Fair enough. Now you can threaten the spin, but again, like, Torrent probably lives from that range. Corviknight is a free switch in. Like, you have many options. Goes for a Focus Blast, just trying to maybe win the tie, get rid of it, but now goes for a U-turn. Cyclizar comes in. Like, Aloe never really gets anything done. For sure, now Deoxys comes in, but Cyclizar, you just go for a Draco and knock it out. Oh my god. So, dead Deoxys. Now, Salazzle comes in, gonna take another Draco, and that is Specs for sure. -2 to 80? God damn, that's a lot of damage. Now Aloe comes in. Don't want to sack the Salazzle if you don't have to. Also, it's just gonna go Ting-Lu. Cyclizar appears to be modest, by the way, because it's slower than Salazzle. So, not really respecting the speed tie or the Salazzle. But now Torn comes in. Able to regen this all off, no problem. And Charles comes in once more. Just go Corviknight. Rapid Spin gets rid of the rocks. Is this Overheat? It's a Life Orb, so probably is going to be Overheat. We get to see how much this does. Only does half. So you can actually defog and still live the next one in Roost. And because of pressure, there's only 4 Overheat, so that's 2 already. Impulse going for a crit at this point, but only 1 more Overheat after this. And now once this Corviknight heals up, it's basically impossible for this Cyclizar to beat it. Now U-turn, gonna proc the status, but now Cyclizar in for another Specs Draco. And Aloe takes 63%, looks like the next one will knock it out. But we're gonna play it safe, go into Torn. Now Cyclizar once in, or again once more, but Corviknight can just come in, even if Overheat comes out, there's no extra Overheats, it's 0 PP. And U-turn, rapid spin, probably the last move is going to be a normal move or a dragon move. It's not hitting Corviknight. So free roost. Now Tinglu comes in on Salazzle, as is, you know, as is the plan. Now rocks are going to go up 100%. Aloe comes in to heal up with regen, but all this progress it's adding up, right? Like, I don't think Impulse can make any meaningful progress this game, whereas Mind Gaming definitely can. Every time Cyclozar gets in, Draco is like really free. Here, can't just go for a Draco now because Sludge Bomb doesn't KO. Impulse goes into Aloe, dodges a Draco. Actually, there's only 2 Dracos left. Been spamming a lot of them and kind of running out. But that being said, Hyper Voice is almost as good. Goes for a double edge as Torn misses another Focus Blast into Charles, but again, this is all regenerable. Tinglu comes in on the Rapid Spin, but just Sleep Talk, potentially get those rocks right back up. Is Cyclozar broken? It's definitely better than what they priced it at, which is like 7 points. Definitely better than that. Just gonna Sleep Talk again. Gets the rocks up as Flip Turn doing a crisp 19. Cyclozar in, but this doesn't beat Tinglu, you know? Like, I don't think anything on Impulse's team beats Tinglu at this point. You can just go for a payback, and now rocks are going right back up. Mind Gaming's differential is now at plus 20. Who's keeping track of that? I guess John Doe is, huh? But yeah, Mind Gaming has been performing quite well. Quite well. We get a Sleep Talk going. Like, this is just a slow goob now. Corviknight comes in, which is fine as well. Rocky Helmet plus rocks. Gonna add up. Really limits the regen. Now Tinglu comes in, and like, there's nothing Impulse can do. Let's speed this one up. Let's go to fast. Cyclozar comes in. Tinglu on Salazzle as usual. What was just Sleep Talk? Not even burning Sleep Talks because you don't need to. Torn getting its regen back. Corviknight in on Charles every time. It just makes sense, guys. Mind Gaming doesn't have to play any risks. We did see Hyper Voice from the Specs Cyclozar. Didn't do a lot to Aloe. This is like Spidef Aloe, but still, progress is inevitable. There's a Terra Blast on the Zapdos, which is a 2-hit KO. And now you can just Terra Blast, Terra Blast, Terra Blast, Terra Blast. Cyclozar in. Now you get your regen. Going to Corviknight on Double Edge. You get Recoil plus Helmet. Brings this Cyclozar down to 1 HP. Free U-turn, and now your own Cyclozar comes in. Just Hyper Voice. Does it KO Salazzle at 92? I think it might. Very strong. And yeah, we're just killing everything with Cyclozar. Just flip Hyper Voice. And then Tinglu, just pay back twice. GG. Really well positioned for Mind Gaming. That's going to bring the series to what? 3-2 for Foxes, I believe. Yeah, 3-2 for Foxes. And now we have Soggy Doggy Sage versus Helom. 80 turns 6-0, yeah. Just clinical, man. Alright, Sage is on the Foxes, Helom is on the Tacticians. And yeah. So this is like a very, very standard Torn Tinglu Petch kind of thing. With double Dragon offense, it's pretty cool. The backs and the Cyclozar. Whereas on the other side, Sage is using very much a frailer offense kind of thing. Where like you have your Great Tusk and your Jirachi as like some bulk, but mostly you just want to be hitting things with your strong special attackers, Greninja and Enamorus. Ogerpon as well, hard to switch into. Great Tusk, hard to switch into. There's a lot of Pokemon that do a lot of damage with like Screens, Healing Wish support from Jirachi, and of course the signature Lapras from Soggy Doggy Sage. Looking at Terra types, we see Terra Fairy on the Enam, we see Terra Steel on the Lapras, can't forget to mention that. On the other side, Poison Torn and normal Cyclozar. Let's get into it. Lapras leads off into the Torn. Good lead for Sage, and it's going to be Assault Vest Lapras trading into Assault Vest Torn. Love to see it. At least it looks that way. Now I see a Psychic Noise come out as Bax pivots in, and Lapras is going to be forced out into Enamorous on Earthquake. Is kind of a crazy play that works out. Sage is built like that, I guess. And now you're threading Moonblast. Expected play is going to be Torn or Petch. JRicky covers both. Really intelligent play from Sage, and that's going to be rewarded by Rocks Up. Yeah, Rocks Up very early into the game. Now U-turn on Ting Lu, which is Rocky Helmet and probably just going to trade Rocks. But now Great Tusk comes in. You're threatening Spin, potentially, but just goes for a sub, and EQ doesn't break. Does this Ting Lu have Whirlwind? That's the question. CC going to do a lot of damage. Rocky Helmet chip, but it does have Whirlwind, which you do expect from, an OU player, Helom. But, yeah. Now Enam comes in, snipes the Torn with an Earth Power, could potentially be Scarf. Gonna double to JRicky, and actually with the switch order, Enam reveals that it is Scarf. It's faster than Torn, at least. As JRicky comes in on the Rotom, Volt Switch is faster than JRicky, so either Scarf Rotom or a very, very fast Rotom into slow JRicky. Psychic Noise is going to be big chip on the Torn now. Probably just going to see a U-turn on Ting Lu. Really nice early game from Sage, all things considered. A lot of chip being spread around. Everything's low. Great Tusk is in. Gets leftovers. Kind of threatening a spin, but actually Petron is on a balloon. And if you look at the team, or look at the set, sub close combat rapid spin, the last move is going to be a ground move, headlong or EQ. So this balloon Petron hard walls this Great Tusk. And he has escaped the Vortex. Now Lapras going to come in on a sack, it looks like. Oh, never mind. 15%. Never mind to my never mind. Gets the drop. And Shadow Ball going to take it out from there. The Ice Shard, though, crucially does break the balloon, so Great Tusk is back to being a threat. Now Psychic Noise is going to bring this Petron very low. Goes for a Particle Shot. I don't know if that was worth it. You do get positioned into Torn to take a KO with Heat Wave. But now Gren comes in, and I want to pause on this turn, right? Gren with Battle Bond is probably the biggest threat to Helom's team, looking at it, because the Torn is not, it's AV, but Petron is low, Rotom is at 75. What I'm saying is, if this Gren goes for a Sword Stance as you try to save your Torn, game's over. Game's a wrap. And we go to sack our Ting Lu. Do we see a Sword Stance? We don't. We see a Night Slash. No Sword Stance to be seen. I really think a Sword Stance could have been in order there. Because you can't really sack your Torn out of fear of the Enamorous taking over. But also, if you save it and the Sword Stance happens, game over. Now Rotom comes in, but because it's only +1 Gren, Rotom's going to eat this very comfortably. I say comfortably, 57 is still a lot. So a Sword Stance definitely would have just swept the game there, I think. But unlucky, not able to pull the trigger there. Torn comes in, but Enam is Scarf, Earth Power. Threatens this out. Does click the Earth Power into Rotom Switch, unfortunately. And now Pain Split is imminent. Doesn't even bother. Goes for a Hydro Pump. So actually, yeah. This was probably Scarf Rotom, right? Didn't we say that? Or like at least faster than JRicky. So it could be Scarf Rotom, which wouldn't necessarily carry Pain Split. And there it is, Scarf Rotom outspeeds the Ogerpon. We do see a Trailblaze though, so potential endgame. Cyclezar does come out, and it's Quick Attack. Is it Life Orb? Yeah, it's Life Orb. So yeah, that just kills Ogerpon, and now Enamorous is in range of Quick Attack as well. So yeah, I will say really good early game from Sage, but misses the opportunity to Sword Stance with Gren, and once that happens, now Helom just takes full control of the end game, just locks it up with the bulk of these guys, able to make favorable trades into Sage's offense, and Helom comes out on top. Really clinical end game from him. So that actually means that the series is now tied 3-3, I believe, going into the last two games. And now we have Undead versus Fagos. Alright. This is a game 7 Fagos, not a game 8 Fagos, so could be a potential misplay there in scheduling, but we'll see how this goes. Right. In terms of teams, though, very much a very fat, like, bulky offense from Faye, whereas Undead also has very much a bulky offense team. So, good defensive cores, some regen, some layers going up on both sides, I'm sure. Now, let's see. Terra types, we're going to have Fairy on the Bolt. On the other side, it's going to be Dragon on the Bolt. So this is not the first Raging Bolt mirror we've had in this week, funny enough. So Fagos is the Fairy one. Undead has Dragon Bolt. Alright, JRicky leads off into Darkrai, takes a Hypnosis turn 1. Probably Colberberry, judging that you're willing to stay in. And now goes Aloe on a knockoff. So now you have your Sleep Fodder, you can go Aloe for free, just go for a flip turn. Toxapex comes in. But now JRicky gonna attempt to wake up, I guess? I'm guessing JRicky is the rocker and you really want rocks up, which makes sense. Now Gliscor gonna come in on the Lando, get that free Toxic Orb procced. But Raging Bolt comes in, and this Raging Bolt, it's gonna be hard to switch into. This Terra Dragon Draco does 39 to JRicky, which is quite a hefty chunk. Now hopefully Faye can wake up and get these rocks up, as he does. Now Gliscor comes in as Lando goes for another U-turn. And now Darkrai comes in, potentially threatening an Ice Beam. When you see a switch to Aloe, and he calls the switch, goes for a Hypnosis. And now what's Faye supposed to do? He's supposed to go Carbink? Or, not Carbink. Carbink came in. I was going to say, you could go Conk here maybe. But maybe you don't want that getting knocked? I don't know. A layer does go up though from the Carbink as JRicky comes in. Lando in on that, but a U-turn comes out. No Rocky Helmet, but now Gliscor gets a free switch in and could potentially lay up a Hazard here or go for a Toxic. That works too. Gets a slow U-turn into the Raging Bolt. Is Boots, but something's going to have to take this Draco and nobody is going to like it. But I think Faye really needs to get his Raging Bolt Terra'd ASAP because these Dracos are going to be really annoying long term. And JRicky actually lives on 1% on a very low roll, allowing this Healing Wish to come out, which, low-key, not super impactful at the current game state, but Healing Wish is in the air still, so it could be impactful later. It gets a sub up on -2 Volt Switch, which is fair enough. Now Meteor Beam into the Landorus is going to do quite a lot of damage, but looks to be Assault Vest, so not going to do too much damage. You're going to get out of there alive. U-turns into the Ogerpon. Ogerpon should eat any hits. And actually, the Healing Wish ends up hurting Fagos as he doesn't get the Poison Heal this turn. Not that it really matters, I'm not going to lie. It U-turns into the Conkeldurr as Toxapex going to be the switch in on Defog. Okay, sure. Now Thunderpunch is actually a 2-hit KO it looks like as T-Spike goes up. Now Iron Moth going to pivot in expecting a switch to Lando or something. But Raging Bolt in on this. Draco Meteor is obviously going to break the sub. So just going to have to get some chip here and sack the Iron Moth. No other play really available at this point. Now Raging Bolt comes in, finally gets the Terra Fairy off, and knocks out the opposing Bolt. But in the meantime, Bolt has done a lot of damage. Reveals Scarf Raging Bolt, actually. But Ogerpon, good for the Synthesis. And gets all the way back up to full HP as Conk comes in. Now Pex comes in, pivots in on the Ice Punch. Do we see a pivot to Lando on the T-Punch? We do see it, and there's the T-Punch. Really nicely played from Undead. Calls that out. And now Gliscor can come in, but U-turn. You're going to get momentum out of this, and Cornerstone coming in is progress. Knocks out the Gliscor with a knockoff. And now Conk comes in. I think, like, Loki, you had to go Conk there and save the Gliscor, because now Lando comes in on another T-Punch. Oh no. Now pivots to Pex because of the Intimidate. And Aloe comes in. Okay, Raging Bolt in as T-Spike goes up, but your Moth is dead now. T-Spike up? You might be cooked. Especially because Ogerpon can come in on this Terra Blast and just synth it off. Yeah, this is looking really over. No real way to break. You get the Defog off, which, like, sure. Your Raging Bolt isn't poisoned, but a T-Punch does get a crit, which is nice. Toxics out of respect. Now, does this see a Drain Punch on the switch? No. Aloe in on the Carbink, but Lando comes in. There's a sack, I guess, but I guess you can U-turn. It's not a sack yet. Into the Ogre Pawn. Stays asleep, and now Power Whip obviously going to knock this out. And I think we're just cooked. Low-key. Goes for a Scarf Draco, but you can't just synth this off. Nothing that can really be done. Doubles to Carbink. Thoughts on Roaring Moon bench here? Which team had the Roaring Moon? It would be Fago's, right? Was this the game where I was like, yeah, Roaring Moon 6-0s, GG, like taunt DD? Yeah, taunt DD, knock Ironhead, just killed everything. Yeah, and we benched it for what? What would you rather bench here? Because honestly, all these guys are important. I kind of understand it. Maybe I'd say bench the Conch, but then like hazards going up is like really bad long term. I don't know. Maybe just a case of you can't bring all 7. Moth probably, but yeah, but then T-Spikes go up. Clearly Undead expected a Moth bench with T-Spikes Pex. Okay, hold up. We've gotten a full para. There's a way out. Full para 1? One more synthesis left. Low key. There's a way out. 1 para? Can we get a few more? There's the Ivy Cudgel, and that's going to put it in Darkrai range, which will live a T-Bolt. And there we go. Okay. So no robberies will occur, but now we go into the final game, which is Genius versus Josha. Pretty hype matchup, especially considering if Genius wins, they win the week. Kind of insane. Anyways, let's get this out of the way. Zarude is going to be Terra Fairy on Genius's side, and on the other side, we're going to have Terra Electric Keldeo. Mostly designed at breaking the Aloe, and also setting up on Zapdos and Crown a little bit easier. Pretty nice. Yeah, thanks TSP. Really appreciate that one. Awesome. Right. Zapdos leads off into the Meowscarada. Potentially could be a triple axle lead, but we go into Crown immediately, which is going to be Rocky Helmet, which is kind of crazy that you're willing to just triple axle raw into Zapdos without being pads. But like, come on, man. Okay. Zapdos comes in, calls the switch to Aloe, and now gonna go for a Volt Switch, but Lando comes in, so all good. Lando is slower than Zapdos, and hits itself in confusion. Love to see that in a Game 8. Now, Dragonite comes in, breaks its multi-scale, but dodges the next Hurricane. We were due for that one, low-key, so just Roosts off, back in a multi-scale, and now do we see a Dragon Dance? We see a Dragon Dance, so this is a bulky DD Dragonite. Potentially able to 1v1 the Zapdos, goes for a Dragon Claw, but Citrus Berry gonna look like it maybe prevents the 2-hit KO. Either way, Volt Switch comes out, and Zarude is in, which is Terra Fairy, is gonna 1v1 this Dragonite, no problem. Knockoff does a lot to Salazzle, but one tech that Salazzle can be is Endeavor, which it is going to be, because Salazzle very conveniently always lives one knockoff from offensive Zarude. So that's going to be the set that is. Really leaves that Lando very low, but it is Scarf Lando, so knocks out the Salazzle. And now Keldeo gets a sub up as the switch to Aloe. Sub Calm Mind, but now probably just going to see a Terra to prevent the Play Rough from breaking sub. That being said, Play Rough into Flip Turn is going to break the sub as a combination. So Genius is going to get momentum eventually. Into what? Into Landorus. And this is Choice Scarf. It's Terra Electric. Josh has forced it out. But the U-turn is actually super baller, I'm not going to lie. That was a crazy U-turn. But also, it doesn't even work out because it's Rocky Helmet Landorus. That was crazy. Who U-turns there? Ongizing. Alright, now rocks do go up as Flip Turn comes out, knocks out the Lando exchange for the rocks up. But the main problem with this is Court Change does exist. And you can't really one-shot Cinderace with any of your Pokemon, so this Court Change will be coming out. And basically Josh has just sacked him on to get rocks up onto himself. It's like, man, a little bit rough. Zarude comes in, but, I mean, what can you do at this point? Trailblaze. Everything loses to Zarude. GG. Trailblaze SD, one of the scariest sets to bring into Alamo multi-teams. But, okay. Healing Wish is the Dragonite, but Terra Blast. E with multi-scale. Oh, the Roar. Hold up. With that Roar, maybe if Keldeo can get it going before Zarude gets another chance, maybe you could do it, but Volt Switch into Zarude I think just wraps up the game. Yeah, that's gonna be it, because now you just Trailblaze, I think. No, we switched to Crown. I really would have expected a Trailblaze there, but either way, I think this probably is good enough. Because now you just Volt Switch into Zarude, and you're completely fine. And Zarude's gonna wrap up this game with a knockoff, it looks like. Or Trailblaze into knockoff, or Trailblaze into Terra Blast actually is the... I guess it has both, right? Yeah, knockoff is a little stronger. There we go, that's gonna be the game. Zarude is so back. Zarude might be so back. Shout out to TJ for that Zarude video recently, but that's gonna be all the games for DCL Week 4. Thank you guys for watching. ZFG did end up on top here. And let's see. Can I bring the dock over to this tab real quick? Looks like I can. And if we look at the overall standings, it looks like ZFG and Judgment Day looking more so, or more or less locked for playoffs at this point. 8 points, 7 points respectively. I think last season the cutoff was 6 or 7 points. I think it was 7, but yeah, so these guys functionally are locked for playoffs, which is nice. Armory 1 point off of that same theoretical like lock. I don't think it's like technically mathematically locked, but for our intents and purposes, I think that counts. A little bit of a dogfight for this 4th playoff spot though between Tacticians and Alliance. They're both very much within punching distance of each other, and they actually play Week 7. So that's going to be a super hype series coming up soon. It's going to come down to Alliance versus Tacticians last week if you guys don't lose out. Yeah, for sure. I think that looks like it's going to be how it goes, especially considering Alliance gets to play Wishes and Surfers next up, and Tacticians get to play Surfers and Yoshis. These are very winnable games for both of them. They should be, in theory, neck and neck going into Week 7. That's going to be a fun series to watch. Locked by Week 5 is nasty work. Yes, it is. And then I believe this actually does mathematically eliminate Make-A-Wish from playoff contention. Maybe not mathematically, but like 0-4, 10-22. And OG Albana has become a duckling. Appreciate that, man. This is for the LTM series, or LTM championship that we just got. Appreciate that, man. Make-A-Wish needs to make a big wish. They need a massive wish. Pay it forward at this point. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yoshis will make the playoffs so long as L5 picks against them every week. I mean, low-key, I picked for them like 3 out of the 4 weeks in pick'ems, and they've only won 1, so I don't think that theory holds up. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see Yoshis versus Make-A-Wish Week 7, potentially lining up to be a little bit of a toilet bowl. So Week 7 looks like a bunch of bangers, I'm not gonna lie. Infernal Armory Foxes, the only like maybe in theory not super poggers series in Week 7 is going to be Judgment versus Surfers. Very much expect that to go to Judgment Day, but a lot of good series coming up in Week 7, which is still a few weeks away. But yeah, very epic. If we look at like the player list, into 4-0, make sure this is still on the screen. It's not quite on screen, my bad. Was my dimensions messed up for the standings as well? It probably was, yeah. My bad. But anyways, look at the player list. C, Mind Gaming, Genius X, 3 players from ZFG, all 4-0. So, I mean, if you're wondering why they're top seed, that's probably why, right? Also joining the 4-0 club is Rai and Kyle. Kyle may be one of the less expected ones, but the rest of these players, very strong. Maybe some people would expect Mind Gaming and C not to have quite as strong of a performance, but 4-0. Very respectable. Sven being 3-0, Zuch being 3-0, some strong performances as well, and then a bunch of 3-1 players, including yours truly. Yeah, a lot of really strong openings from a lot of these players, and yeah, really excited for the next coming weeks. It should be absolute barn burner. And yeah, I think that's it for me. And yeah, we'll check out the pick'ems. I don't know if I'm going to do it Thursday or Friday or what, but expect a pick'em streams later this week for week 5, and that's going to be it. Zuch already has a better record than DPL. Yep. See, what I did is I bought in when the stonks on Zuch were low, and now I got to raise them up. Yep, and then next season, someone will massively overpay for him and get surprised when he's just terrible without my prep support. What can I say? It's all jokes. It's all jokes, man. But, again, that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.